is your play of the night right there.
It's inside to Sabonis. A two-hand rip. A brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
And look who's got new headphones. Beautiful.
Yeah, your boy is ready.
Yeah.
You like the color too?
Yes,
you
I
like
do.
that? You know
I do.
what? I just got these, and it was between black and blue. And I said, you know what? What was my middle school motto? Do you remember? Do you remember, Whitey?
Dare to be different.
Yes, dare to be different.
Is that right?
And yes,
Okay.
And I said, everybody and their mom has black headphones, not your boy Drapes. I'm going with the baby Tar Heel blue today.
Yeah, Friday was a very eventful end of the show with everything coming out about Mike Brown, but also it was eventful because Drape's headphones just broke. And he, he's a gamer. He continued on even though they were kind of flapping in the breeze. So I posted a video of it, and the coolest thing about that is one of the people that liked the video was Kyle's mom.
Yeah. She's on Twitter. I think you're like the only person she follows or something. I don't know how she saw that though, but she liked it, and hopefully she's listening right now, can see these fancy headphones that
Beautiful.
I got, and so
What kind
I'm
are
ready.
those?
Bose, I believe.
Oh,
let me see.
okay.
Hold on for a sec. Bose, yes sir.
Very nice.
Spent a pretty penny on these. These better not break.
Yeah, got the padding on top.
Yeah,
and
got
everything.
the padding. Can go wireless if need be. Did not buy the protection plan though. So I got to be careful with these.
Yes.
2-year protection plan. I said, nah, I got this.
Yeah.
Comes with a little case. People on YouTube can see the case. So I'm ready now, big
Just
fella.
don't leave them out because you know how it is. You've been in broadcasting a long time. 98% of the people that pick up a pair of headphones, when they're done with it, or if it's somebody else's, they take the cord and they wrap it around. Which is just not good for it.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a proper way?
I think you're supposed to kind of like fold
just
it up.
fold and like, okay, but don't
wrap
don't wrap.
all over. Yeah, because
All right.
you get it short that way.
Yeah.
But those are like, those look pretty durable.
Dude, you know what? They feel like I'm up in Tahoe at Palisades right now. Got the earmuffs on. Like they fit so snug.
Very nice.
Like I can't hear anything else. No ambient sound. No, is Jay back there? No Kyle back there coughing up a storm.
Did you donate the old ones to the Smithsonian or
I should, right?
Broadcasting Hall of Fame.
Sort of like the Basketball Hall of Fame or something like. Let me see. I think I still got them in my bag. I might auction them off for a good cause. How about that?
Yeah.
Drapes worn out headphones,
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, we were just talking about Bill Walton last week. And of course, you can't talk basketball without eventually talking about Bill Walton. So sad news yesterday, obviously.
Yeah, that cut deep, man. And, we all have Bill Walton stories, right? Like he was the guy that touched so many people's lives, always full of energy, full of life. And, I was with my son and I saw the alert come past and I'm like, this is one of the great Americans, truly entertaining, great guy, humble. I mean, this is Bill Walton we're talking about. And I saw the story you had on social media you posted. This is a guy that had every reason to be cocky, full of himself, but he never felt like that when you were around him. Like he had a way of sort of disarming you, making you feel comfortable. I met him when I was in Louisville, actually. I emceed the McDonald's Hall of Fame banquet. He was the keynote speaker, and I had a chance to spend some time with him. And, Bill Walton was a guy, he played for the Blazers, who beat the Sixers in 77. He played for the Celtics, who I hated growing up. I was a Lakers guy. And so I had every reason not to like this guy, but I loved Bill Walton. Like nothing negative I could say. Truly a legend out there.
Yeah, like you say, he made an effort to make people feel good.
Yeah.
Yep. It's hard, not just a little bit. We all do it a little. He did it with like everybody.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No matter how big or small or important, whatever. Like he was just that guy, man. And like I said, he had every reason to, be all about himself, be standoffish. He was none of that. He really embraced everybody.
And what a player he was.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, great passer. His career was cut short by a lot of injuries. And for his career, though, he still averaged double-double for his whole career.
Right? Yeah.
And 77, like you said, the Portland team, they won the championship. The next year, they were, I think, 50-10. The next year, they were better.
Really?
And then he got hurt, and then they ended up.
And that derailed everything. Yeah.
But they were phenomenal.
He's a
great player.
And think about it, too. I mean, the shoes he had to fill at UCLA.
Yeah.
Filling Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's shoes, and did it, better than anybody could have. I mean, he was truly tremendous. And I was watching some old highlights of him. You mentioned his passing ability, just his uncanny basketball IQ. Somebody mentioned, and it might have been you or somebody else, he had Jokic qualities. He could run the floor like a gazelle. Just his basketball IQ. He was Jokic before Jokic in terms of what he could do with the ball. And he could score and rebound, too, with the best of them. And he was a defensive presence out there. A truly complete basketball player.
He was the quickest I've ever seen at just getting the rebound and getting it out. With getting the fast break started with the outlet pass.
Yes.
Just so fundamentally strong.
Like
He'd
whipping it up.
Blink of an eye, they're up the floor.
Exactly. We lost a legend, man. And, I just always remember Bill, from when I was growing up on the East Coast. I was a Philadelphia guy. And, throughout his broadcasting career, his career after basketball, just the love he had for the Pac-10, Pac-8, I guess, Pac-10, and then Pac-12, like the Conference of Champions. And when I work at the Pac-12 network, which is now, they just had their final broadcast, you walk in their office and it says the Conference of Champions. That's their Wi-Fi password, too, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like Bill Walton. Like every time I see that phrase, I think of Bill Walton. You think of the Pac-12 Conference of Champions, I think of Bill Walton.
He came here when the station was in another building many years ago because he knew a guy that was on our show, Kevin the Rat. They were friends. So he would come in and he was really nice to us. But it's funny, the things that irritated him because he was all about discipline. So like he was coming on the morning show and we told him, we'll probably break it this time. And, we broke a little late or whatever. He did not like that.
Oh, he didn't like it.
You're supposed to break at 12. Why are you breaking?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other
he was
thing
on top of it. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, you say this, you got to do that.
Yeah.
And then we took a picture and our producer, Joe Pittman, had his hat on. And Bill Walton goes, Joey, take your hat off. So
oh, man. Larger than life guy, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to great Bill. I was shocked, because he was still relatively young, you know, and
I didn't know that he was.
I didn't know he was battling that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So rest in peace, Bill, for sure.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. KO joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, KO. How are you?
I'm great. Heating up, though. Heating up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, KO?
So I've got a great Bill story for you. Early 90s. This is the summer concert series at Cal Expo. Of course, it's a Grateful Dead concert.
Uh-oh.
And I found myself at the sand pit volleyball court at the end of the arena, right in the middle of the show. And I'm in a volleyball game with Mr. Walton and one of his best friends, Bill Graham.
Wow.
And it was just a regular Joe deadhead just playing some volleyball with his fellow deadheads. And it was amazing. He was such a nice guy. I'll never forget it. It was a great experience.
I'll bet he was very good if he was trying, because I'm sure he was a great volleyball player.
Well, just the pure height alone.
Yeah.
Thank you. He was a good guy. He's going to be missed.
Absolutely. Thank you, KO. Thanks for sharing that. Then, of course, we've got basketball tonight. At some point, Drapes, we'll get around to the story that we surprisingly were dealing with at the end of the show Friday. Where what do you make of that now that we've had a few days to ponder this news that Mike Brown and the Kings have tabled talks?
I'm still disgusted. I was just talking with Kyle and Nate, behind the boards over there about it. And, first of all, I'm upset that we're even at this point that this is a story. Second of all, the timing of it, Friday at 5:30 or 5:40 or whatever it is, didn't give us time to really dive into it on a holiday weekend at that. And to me, I'm still seething over this. I'm still upset over this because by all accounts, the last 2 years have been a feel-good story for the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are back. We're relevant again. And I would say the biggest reason why is the presence of Mike Brown. And so any discussion or any ambiguity about his future throws me for a loop because this guy, he should be on the Mount Rushmore of coaches in Sacramento. He should, when it's all said and done, have a statue. What he's been able to do here in 2 short years, like, the job's not done either. Mm-hmm. Like, his contract situation is what it is, but the job is not done. We got to see this through. And so 2 or 3 years just is not enough time. So I'm upset that this is even an issue right now, that those two sides aren't closer on a deal.
What is going on here with Mike Brown and the Kings? More on that when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing.
But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish.
Sounds easy.
It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season. And we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip-Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Hope you're enjoying the NBA playoffs. Man, how do these conference finals end up looking so sweepy, Kyle?
Unbelievable,
my goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, but the East is totally different than the West, though, right? I understand the East being a sweep.
Sure.
Indiana's not a good, not an elite team, and they're without their star, but Minnesota looked like the team to beat out West. Now they look like they're falling apart. Mm-hmm. They're coming apart at the seams. Anthony Edwards, the next Jordan, Michael B. Jordan instead of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, seriously. It's been disappointing. And the league's worst nightmare is about to come to fruition after tonight.
Lots of empty days on the calendar.
9 days off, I think it is. We're going to forget about, if I'm the NFL, I might schedule a game just to, you know what I mean? Why, how the NFL is schedule a game just to take some eyeballs. Like, it's been a disappointment.
Just go back to game 1, Boston and Indiana. 10 seconds left. The Pacers have a 3-point lead in the ball. Just think if someone had told you, hey, Boston's going to sweep the series. You'd say, "Dah!"
Right.
Yeah. And then as we said, at the time, they blew that one. And then at that point, you had the feeling like, okay, I don't know if they're going to win a game after blowing that one.
It's, the thing about the Pacers, and I watched last night's game as well, they just turtle at the worst time. Like 3 of the 4 games, you could argue they should have won. They had the lead. Most of game 1, most of game 3, and most of game 4. Instead, they turtle at the end. And, trust me, I follow a lot of Celtics fans on social media. I haven't gotten rid of them, but I'm slowly muting them or blocking them, with each passing day. It's like, now look at us. I told you we're clutch and everything. Man, the Pacers are who we thought they were. They're a scrappy team that can, battle with you for 7-8 rounds. But when it gets into those later rounds, they don't have that knockout blow. They don't have that knockout punch. And so, when I look at the Celtics in this run, they've been good. It's, what are they, 12-2, I think it was. But they have not played good basketball. Against any of the teams, Any of the Western Conference teams, if you play like that, you're getting beat. The Celtics have been fortunate to get away with it against inferior Eastern Conference competition.
Like most people, when they got Drew Holiday, I said, I think they're probably going to win the championship. So that's hardly unique. But yesterday, what stood out to me down the stretch of that game was watching them, and they really wanted to finish. I mean, they were playing hard in the final couple of minutes, and it stood out to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I don't normally see them playing that way.
I'll tell you what, man. Drew Holiday is the pickup of the year.
Yep.
Like, that changed everything for Boston. And it's not about his points, rebounds, assists. Just look at the little plays that he made. Watching last night, his ability to get an offensive rebound, his ability to defend. What was it, game 3, his steal late in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, just his ability to impact the game in more ways than scoring, that's something the Celtics haven't had. And you got an adult in the room out there talking about Drew Holiday that rises at the perfect time.
It's been there before.
I'm looking, dude, I'll tell you what, and somebody said this, and it's 100% true. You got the best backcourt in the Mavs going against the best backcourt defensively in the Celtics in the NBA Finals, probably. I can't wait to see that.
That's why I don't think Dallas has much of a chance. They have a chance.
So you think good defense outweighs good offense in this situation?
Assuming, again, that it comes to those two teams, which it certainly looks like it will, I think Boston has just more ways to beat you than Dallas does.
This is why I give the Mavericks a chance, Whitey. And I hear you. You're right. They got different ways. They got players. They're deep, Porzingis. Yeah, assuming. But in a close game, I don't think Luka and Kyrie are turtling like that. I don't think they're turning the ball over the way the Pacers did. And so I look back at all the teams the Celtics faced in the playoffs. Miami without Butler and Terry Rozier. You look at Cleveland, without Donovan Mitchell the last 2 games, I think it was. These are guys who, at the end of the game, they have the ball in their hands. Tyrese Halliburton. Now you got Luka and Kyrie, veterans who are secure with the ball. I think it's going to be a hell of a series, man. I'm hoping it goes 6 or 7. Like, I can't do 4 games. I can't. The NBA, if I'm Adam Silver, it would be the worst scenario ever. Seriously. Like, it has to go deep. And Dallas, give Dallas credit. Can we give them credit, Whitey? I know you're not a Luka guy.
I have to. I don't want to, but I have to.
They look like a juggernaut right now.
And they're getting Maxi Kleber back.
Uh-oh. Another weapon. This guy, might make a half a point difference or something like that. But just their approach to playing, like they play hard, they play with force. The PJs and the Gaffords and the Derek Jones Jr.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I want to give you credit. The 2 guys that you said.
Yeah, thank you.
Because somebody should get.
Yeah, because those guys, to me, are guys that can affect the game without begging for the ball. Neither one of those guys are going to be like, I need my 20 shots or anything like that. Those are the kind of role players you need. And as the Kings look to build, we talk about Fox and Sabonis. They got that. But who do they surround them with? Do they go with upper level talent like my boy Zach LaVine, or do they do it sort of like Dallas did, a bunch of really good, solid role players?
Try this on. And I'm not saying these 2 guys are similar players, but the way PJ is assimilating and playing well with Dallas, it reminds me of the way Wiggins eventually played well for the Warriors, because both those guys were high picks. Wiggins was number 1. Yep. It's like, all right, go do it. And now on the teams where Wiggins on the Warriors, like, all right, you don't have to. If you do it, great, but you don't need to do it.
Right.
And he flourished.
Right.
And PJ, the same thing. Right. They're not looking. Yeah. Dallas isn't looking for him to carry him. Right. And so he's shining in the moments he gets to.
Yeah. If you're looking for Wiggins to be your number 1 or 2, probably not going to. But one of the guys who occasionally flashes something. Yeah. Yeah. And I think with PJ, too, similar thing. I mean, all they ask for PJ, play good defense and hit that open 3. That's it. You don't think too much. Don't try to. You don't have to go out there and try to get 40. And I think, a lot of times you see guys with their draft positions, they feel like, because.
Oh, it puts pressure.
Yeah, it puts pressure. Our guy Keegan Murray. How many times have I said on this show, you're the number 4 overall pick? I think when you draft somebody that high, when you're a lottery pick, you're expected to be a franchise player. but not everybody can be that. And I think PJ and Daniel Gafford, they've sort of found their niche with this Mavericks team.
Now, we're thrilled to have Kyle Ledbetter with us today. Unfortunately, we don't have Jay. Jay should be back tomorrow.
Okay.
But it's too bad Jay isn't here today because of this. You know, Jay, you and Jay especially have been going back and forth on Karl Anthony Towns. And would he be a good fit here in theory?
Yep.
And, you know, Jay's like, well, Karl Anthony Towns has been terrible in this series. Right?
Yeah,
that doesn't mean Jay's right.
Right,
But
exactly.
we give him a chance.
Right.
I mean, we're here to crow a little bit. Karl
Exactly.
Anthony Towns averaging 15 points per game while shooting 28% from the floor, 14% from three-point range, 3 for 22, and he was 0 for 8 from downtown in Game 3. So even Coach Finch says he struggled. It was hard to watch at times.
Yeah.
He's struggling. There's no doubt right now. So clearly, you know who needs to step up for the Wolves to have any chance to extend this thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's their second best offensive player, and he's not playing like it. Looking at the box scores now, 16, 15, and 14. And, you know, game 1, he took 20 shots. I like that. 9 of them threes. And when you watch him play, a lot of times he has the mismatch, the size advantage, and he's not taking advantage of it. Of his, let me do the math real quick, 36, 40, 54 shots he's taken in this series so far. He's taken 17, 22 three-pointers. So about 40% of his shots are coming from three-point range. I know he's the best shooting big man in the league, but he has to, as a 7-footer, and we've talked about it too with the Kings.
Yes,
when the threes aren't falling, get to the basket, get to the paint. What else you got? Get to the line, do more. And so he's struggling right now. Anthony Edwards is struggling right now. And Minnesota, they looked unbeatable against Denver, especially those first 2 games. Remember, Anthony Edwards was Michael Jordan, the second coming, and now they look like they're about to get swept.
Boy, their
like
late
Dallas.
game execution,
Yeah.
It's been almost an embarrassment.
But
like
why
a bad
is that?
high school
Why?
team.
What? You got Mike Conley on the team. You got a floor general out there.
Because
you
they
got
don't
a guy.
let him. They don't go through him in the key moments,
Yeah.
right? He's watching Ant try to create something.
Yeah. And that's one thing Ant has to improve on, right?
Yes.
His ability to create off the dribble, not for just himself, but others. But, you know, somebody's like, oh, they should go out there and get a trade for a Trae Young or somebody. And it's like, you got Mike Conley, one of the smartest guys in the NBA, especially with the ball in his hands. I could argue the coaching has not been up to par. I don't know how much the Chris Finch injury situation, him being behind the bench, how much that's impacting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right, though. It's like, but the other guy is standing up and barking out. It's kind of weird. And so, and I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns. He only played 25 minutes and change in game 2. He was on the bench late in that game. This is Karl Anthony freaking Towns we're talking about. This is an all-star. Bad kitty. He's been bad, right? And so they might get swept tonight, Whitey. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm hoping they do get swept, get it over with, because, otherwise it's just a formality.
You want 9 days?
The series is over.
What are we going to talk about for 9 days, Whitey?
Talking baseball. I don't know.
How many times can we talk about Kyrie Irving going back to Boston?
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That's
it's going to be great if those 2 teams play too. That's going to be great. Porzingis against Luka.
Yeah, Dallas.
Great. Very juicy.
Very spicy. And, it's funny, though, you bring up Kyrie and going back to Boston. And I guess they were already like after, the game yesterday against Indiana outside TD Garden, some fans had gathered and they were saying, F Kyrie already. Like, he is the most hated player in the league for the Boston Celtics. They hate that guy and for what he did to that franchise.
Now, obviously, he doesn't deserve that hate, but did he really do that much damage to that franchise?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you were there then, right?
I was there. I was there 100%. I was right there, when he vowed that he wanted to re-sign with the Celtics during their, preseason.
He did it in a commercial. He did a commercial.
Yeah, he did a commercial, him and his dad.
Where he wanted his jersey in the rafters.
Exactly. And to flame out the way he did. Now, here's the problem with Kyrie. Not only did he leave, but when he did play, it was the Milwaukee series. I remember his last series with Boston, the Bucks just bottled him up. he was awful in that series. And so he was awful, and then he bounced on him. And then the year before he was hurt, Game 7, he didn't even show up and sit on the bench, said he had dental work that needed to be done or whatever. Like, they hate that guy more than they hate LeBron James in Boston right now.
Why do you think it's working now? We're back with that. Also, Draymond Green says Cat is lying about putting up 1,500 shots a day. We're just getting warmed up here, Drive Guys, on a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details and 6324.
Hagen Oaks Demo Days is in the home stretch, and this is your last chance to register for an individual fitting appointment with the manufacturer's fitting staff from Ping, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Callaway, Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio. You've waited many long months for the new golf season, and Hagen Oaks has your new golf gear right now. Book your individual Hagen Oaks Demo Days fitting appointment. Call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for your personal fitting. Hagen Oaks, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or HagenOaks.com.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park too. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farmerly.
Take my hand, let me make you mine. It's Dasha, hit your boots, stop working to
Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last night, watching the Pacers and the Celtics, Sheeny and I were watching the game. It wasn't heated, but we had a really strong disagreement on something that happened in the game.
All right.
Very strong disagreement. Had to do with the play where T.J. McConnell caught Jaylen Brown's hand in the face. And backwards. What did you think of that play? As they reviewed it, flagrant, non-flagrant, play on, what was your view?
I thought it should have been a flagrant.
Did you?
Independent of everything, I thought it, but I will say this, Whitey. Because they didn't call the kick to the face earlier from Pascal, I believe it was, or I think it was Pascal, because they didn't call the kick to the face by Pascal or whoever it was earlier, I said they're not going to call that a flagrant either.
It's one of the hardest falls you'll ever see a guy take in basketball.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
You get hit in the face, knocked over backwards, and fall on your hip. I felt watching it, Jaylen Brown was trying to get the ball. Unfortunately, McConnell's face was there, and I thought, that's not a flagrant.
But let me, I got to go ahead. I'll let you go. I got to look this up. Go ahead. I'll continue. I'm sorry, Whitey. Go ahead.
Here was Zach Zarba, and it's funny because referees don't usually explain it this way. Here was Zach Zarba's explanation for why it was a common foul.
After review, the contact, although unfortunate, does not rise to the level of flagrant foul penalty. Brown is making a play on the basketball and remains a common.
Yeah, the contact, though unfortunate, does not rise to the level.
Review, the contact, although unfortunate,
does not rise to the level of a flagrant. I'm with you, Zach Zarba.
Now,
my wife and my partner disagree.
I disagree because, and I'm trying to find this, in the NBA rule book right now.
Unnecessary and, as you know,
yeah,
unnecessary and excessive.
Yeah. Right. But I didn't think it had to be intentional. Usually, any shot to the face, like when you hit somebody in the face, you're going for a block, wind up, and you happen to catch them. They call that. And so I don't know. I think it's at that time, I thought it should have been a flagrant just because it was unintentional. It was not intentional.
Right.
I understand it.
Right.
But that doesn't factor in, I don't think, into the rule. I could argue the kick to the face looked a little more intentional than the hand did, but I thought it should have been a flagrant.
Mm-hmm. To me, just like you said, it's unintentional. Jaylen Brown is trying to get the ball. How do you get the ball? You got to reach for the ball. Well, there was McConnell's face. It was very unfortunate contact.
Yeah.
But that's a play on. So
yeah.
I got that one right.
Yeah, you got that one right. But I just feel, I don't know. I've seen less get whistled a flagrant.
I know. That's the thing about flagrants. Yeah. Sometimes where we all do is like, well, that looked terrible. That's got to be a flagrant.
Right. Yeah. But, to your point, if it's not, excessive, it wasn't like he was winding up.
The wind up, isn't that one of the things
that's one of the things, the wind up and everything like that. So, the Celtics are moving on, man. I'm bummed by that because I told you my son's, Celtics
happy,
fan.
Right?
Oh, yeah, he's stoked. It's like he didn't even watch the game. I'm like, you're not even watching the game. He's like, oh, I just know the Celtics are going to win. I'm like, man, the arrogance of these Celtics fans just gets to me.
Even in your own household.
Right. Like they believe so much in their team, they don't even have to watch the game because they already know the outcome. It's killing me, man.
Yeah. So that series is all over. Jaylen Brown is the most valuable player and says, I was surprised because I'd never win bleep. I was glad to see him win.
I was glad too. I was glad that they didn't just hand it to Tatum because I thought the impact, Jaylen Brown's been the most impactful player. And I can make the argument for Drew Holiday. But when I watch Jaylen Brown play, the thing that stands out most to me is, man, we could use somebody like that. Forget about the skill. Forget about the shot. Do you see when he drives to the basket, he looks undeterred. He cannot be stopped. The force that he plays with, kudos to him, man. Like, he is about it 100%. We need that on our team. Like, you feel Jaylen Brown when you go against him.
So I'm guessing, Drapes, you didn't watch the trophy presentation.
I did. I mean, it was on in the house.
Rough going for our mutual friend, Cedric. He couldn't hear what he was supposed to do.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. I had it on, but what happened?
Okay, so you know him personally.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He used to come on this show all the time.
Yeah.
I love the guy. So I think he was supposed to introduce the owner of the Celtics.
Oh.
And so Lisa Salter says, here's Cedric Maxwell, MVP of the final. And he goes, how about them damn Celtics? So it's okay.
All right, that's him. That's him.
That's all he did. That's all. So then Wayne Grousbeck comes on and
no, but he said some words. Yeah, Max said some words.
All right. Well, then later on, he was supposed to introduce the winner of the MVP. So Lisa Salter goes, and here is Cedric Maxwell. And he goes, you could tell that there was, I could see the players were saying they couldn't hear.
Yeah, I did see that part.
And so Cedric's looking at her and he goes, how about those damn Celtics?
Oh,
and she goes, she whispers in his ear.
Oh, and then he went and okay, all right.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
it was. But
they didn't know. It's one of those things. They probably did a walkthrough before the last few games. They don't know if they're going to do it or not. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
And then
he couldn't hear
about Lisa Salters looking for Drew Holiday. Meantime, Drew's standing right there, he's like right around, and then the camera's on him.
Yeah.
Drew, where you at? Drew? So they must not have been able to hear.
I don't think
because she was calling for Drew for like 30 seconds.
Right.
And he's just standing there with his kid, and then all of it. Yeah, it was a poor production.
So I think that was a set. I think
executed.
it's one of these things you don't hear, you don't know what's going on. Then there's a microphone in
Right.
your face, like,
Yeah.
okay, I got nothing.
Yeah. Do you got Celtics winning it all? Huh? You're still, confident in that.
I mean, I got to stick with that. Like I said, everybody was picking them, but I didn't like that Tatum is a phenomenal player. When that thing was over, he was like, "Yeah, well, we won." He was like, no emotion.
That's how Tatum is, though. That's but
he had no. They just won. They're going to the finals. Lisa Salter's like, "How about that?" Well, we played hard.
JT.
I mean, he did throw the ball up in the air and stuff, but just when it came to speaking, he was, my goodness, is he on Quaaludes? What's going on?
Well, he has more oomph, if you will, more passion when arguing calls with the officials. You know what I mean? Like, you that's when you see his passion come out. And, I think their thought is, you know what? We haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Think about this, though. If you're Jason Tatum, you've been to 5 Eastern Conference Finals. I think this is his second NBA Finals. You're 26 years old. Think about this dude, the level of success he's had in 7 years or whatever it's been, 8 years. It's unbelievable, man. For him to, when you look at the pantheon of NBA, like the playoff points and all that, he's going to be up there. They're continuing this crazy run. And he's done it with different teams, Whitey. Think about this. You had the Isaiah Thomas IT Pizza Guy team. You had the Kyrie team. You had the Marcus Smart-led team. Now, this is the 4th iteration of the Celtics in the last 7-8 years. It's amazing, man, what they've built there.
How about Draymond Green last night? We talked earlier, a few minutes ago, about how Karl Anthony Towns not shooting the ball well. So they were talking about that, and Karl Anthony Towns has said, I'm putting up 1,500 shots a day. Yeah. So Draymond says he's not putting up 1,500 shots a day. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a lot of damn shots. And inside the NBA, the TNT guys broke it down. How you putting up 1,500 shots a day, and you got practice, you got film, you got shoot around and all. Ain't nobody putting up 1,500. Kenny Smith said he does 300 makes, and that would take him a couple of hours. So just to shoot 1,500 shots, that's like 4 hours. You're not in the gym shooting for 4 hours in addition to practice, in addition to games. So they call cap on him.
Yeah. Maybe he meant 15 to 100. I take 15 to 100.
15 to 100. Yeah, it just blended in, right?
Uh-huh.
He needs to take more, though. Or just stop taking them. And Chuck was like, see, that's your problem. You're spending too much time taking threes instead of working on your back to the basket.
But
game.
Charles Barkley has been saying that since the Warriors won in 2015.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get inside.
Right.
You can't keep shooting threes.
Yeah, it's but like you said, if the three's not falling, what's your fallback? What's your plan B? And Karl Anthony Towns is skilled enough, big enough to get his butt in the paint, especially against whether it's Derrick Jones Jr. or whoever it may be that's guarding him. He should still be able to get into the paint.
And I would bet you that is one of the things that worked against Mike Brown when it came to impressing his bosses enough to offer him the money he wanted this year. The Kings offense this year at times was obviously huge fall off from the year before. So I'm guessing that was a big part of why we're wherever it is we are now with this mess between Mike Brown and Kings management.
Let me ask you this. Do you really think, and I don't know the answer, that the Kings management is upset with the way Mike Brown has coached or led the team or whatever it may be? Like, or is he to blame for their shortcomings? Do you really think that's what they think?
I think that they're upset with certain aspects of it just because, and I know I've mentioned this a million times, because of the couple times Mike Brown mentioned during his post-game pressers when he would make sure he would say, we can find the tape, the audio of him saying, now the defense was great today after the play-in game. Now you guys, we practice offense too, right? Looking at all of us, but it's like, oh, why is he doing that? So I do think that was a sore subject. I haven't been in there. I don't know. No one told me that. That's my observation. Maybe I'm wrong, but to answer your question, yeah. And then there was the Mark Stein report that it was the playoff performances that leave the Kings front office feeling it appears a combination of Brown's desire for a significant salary bump and the Kings' postseason disappointments of the past 2 springs has given his bosses pause. Mark Stein.
And I go back to our boy Jason Anderson back in January, I think it was, talking about how him and Mike Brown and Monty, maybe not on the same page. And it's unfortunate, because I think Mike Brown is being true to himself. This is who Mike Brown is. Defensive minded. That's my focus. And we knew he was a defensive coach. So if all of a sudden Monty and Vivek or whoever it is over at the Kings are thinking, man, I wish he would preach more offense. Well, either A, talk to him about it and deal with it instead of letting stuff leak out, or B, realize he's never been that way. You're a defensive-minded, you hired a defensive-minded coach. And it's just unfortunate, man, because, I'm disappointed that they missed out on the playoffs. Mike's disappointed. Everybody, there's no reason not to be disappointed. But we can't just point the finger at one person and say it's the coaching. Mike Brown didn't have Kevin Huerter miss shots. Mike Brown didn't have Keegan Murray's efficiency take a step back. He didn't have Malik get hurt. I mean, before we talk about, Mike Brown and the reason the King struggles, there's 3, 4, 5, 6 other things ahead of that. So I hope the organization is not pointing the finger at Mike Brown and saying, you know what, he let us down or he didn't lead us to where we needed to go, because I don't think it was his fault.
The Mike Brown contract situation, best case scenario. When we come back, Drive Guys, trying to make sense of it all on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question: do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumberyard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable, it's straight, it's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Drive Guys back together, talking about the Kings situation, trying to make sense of what's going on in basketball, including how it is that Kyle Ledbetter, who's in for Jay today, he apparently, in his own mind anyway, is a playground hoops legend. I mean, there's no dissuading him. I've talked to him in the past about, you might want to cool it on telling everyone how good you are. And he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just very good at basketball.
That's proof that he has no skills.
Is it?
Yeah, because when you're good, you let other people do the talking for you. You know what I mean? When you're a suspect, you got to stick out your chest, So I'm calling cap on Kyle's basketball skill.
I'll say this, Drapes. There is not a person I know who has seen me play basketball that will say I'm not nice. Everyone who has played with me or seen me play will say,
I need the receipts.
Good. Okay.
916-339-1140. If you've ever played basketball with Kyle I just want one. Kyle, give me one person to say this kid has skills. Okay. And I'll be quiet. You can't walk in here and say, you know what, guys? I hate to say it, but I'm the best ever at basketball at this station or whatever you say. I don't even remember what you said. But
no, Whitey asked me if I had played basketball because Whitey knows, that I'm out there hooping on the.
I know
on the
that
court.
You play.
Yes.
I know that you're out there.
pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Out there hooping.
And I've seen video of you missing a dunk or whatever it was.
Yes.
And that should have been the end of the conversation, right? No, I didn't play. I just shot around or whatever. But you had to take it a step farther.
Yeah. Unlike
And what did you say?
I don't like to be braggadocious.
Nah, go before that, Kyle. Go before that.
No, that was the next thing. I don't like to be braggadocious, but I'm like very, very good at basketball.
And he also said he has a Boston
Celtics
that's right.
winning percentage
yep.
on the blacktop these days.
He said he has like an 833 winning percentage on the blacktop. 833. Now, you volunteered that information, Kyle. We didn't ask what's your winning percentage, how did you do, or anything like that. See, so that leads me to believe that maybe you just aren't as good as you think, big fella.
Look, it's a team game, right? Your teams are always winning, right? But I'll just say, I show up, my team wins 4 in a row, and then I walk off the court.
Where do you play at, Kyle? Where do you play?
9th and P, down at the
Oh, you at
Roosevelt
9th,
courts.
the outside there?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I may have to come spot you down there.
You should scout him. This could be the key to your team. He could join your team and turn your whole season around.
35 and above.
I was going to say, I think there's age limits on this thing.
Yeah, exactly. What days you play, Kyle? I'm coming down.
Like a Monday, a Wednesday.
What time? Give me a time, big fella.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay.
We'll be out there after the show's
We may
done.
have to broadcast live one day. and really get I got to see Kyle playing ball.
People will be excited if the voice of the Sacramento Kings wants to come out and play pickup with some people.
Now, let me ask you, are you a 3-point shooter? Are you a post guy? Handle the rock? Like, what's your game?
Well, you've seen my stature, so I think picking up in the post is not exactly my strong suit. I'm tall man, but I'm not big man.
Right,
so,
right.
You know,
Are you like Lauri Markkanen? Is that what you're saying?
that's not a bad comparison.
Well, what's a good one?
I don't know. I've as humble as I may be, I've never thought about who my basketball comparison is. I have to guard 1 through 5. You know, it depends. It depends on the group that we're playing with.
See, you know how it is, Drapes. You know, if you play basketball and you talk that way, you rub people the wrong way, right?
Right.
So I tried to talk to, like months ago, I said, you might want to tone that down. Deaf ears. Yeah.
And here's the thing, Kyle. You know, Sactown Sports 1140, specifically the Drive guys, we have a far reach out there. So I guarantee there's somebody that plays with you at 9th and P that's listening to this. And next time you go out there, they're going to treat you like Caitlin Clark, big fella. They're going to try to make a statement and shut you down. I hope you're ready for that smoke.
That's okay. Look, in my real life, I am not like this at all. It's just with basketball because I know I can back it up. I can back it up. I'm pull up from 3, drive in the lane, dribble with both hands. I've got real skills.
Oh my gosh.
Real top of the line, top 1%.
Maybe he's like Larry Bird, you know?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird would tell you what he was going to do, and then he
didn't do it, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not quite that dominant, but I am very good.
Not that quite. He's not quite Larry Bird, you know.
I'm not the Larry Bird of Sacramento basketball, no. But I'm in the top 1% of basketball players in Sacramento.
Now let me ask you this really quickly.
Did you hear that?
You said top 1%?
Yeah, top 1%.
In Sacramento. In Sacramento.
No offense, Kyle. You playing with a bunch of bums out there at 9th and P. Come on, man. If your thought about your basketball skills is how you do at 9th and P, come on, man.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I'm not. My other problem is I do not have the endurance to go multiple hours long. If I were to really get into basketball shape, then
dude, that's what we got to do. Both of us. We need to get into basketball shape and let's go.
Yeah, I've been hearing these updates about Drapes' rec league on the show.
Dude, my conditioning is off. Like, I'm just not in shape. I'll keep it real. You know, I'm not in shape, but I'm looking at
you skip camp and you're paying for it.
Exactly. You know, I was, you know, like James Harden in the NBA Finals in 2012 in South Beach. You know, when he was playing Miami, I'm out in the streets too late at night. I'm eating bad. You know, I'm going around, and so I need to get back in the gym. So
yeah, all right. Well, something to look forward to, seeing Kyle Ledbetter.
Yeah, somebody's challenging him on YouTube.
Ooh,
BW, freaking stop it, bro. Top 1%. Seriously, I'll see you there.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you're going to get dunked on, bro.
I would love to see that.
Top 1% is
top 1%.
Bitten off more than you can chew there, Kyle.
Totally fair. Look, I'm just a lot of this is being silly, but I am people who have seen me know that I'm very good at basketball.
All I need is one person to call in, Kyle. Simone, anybody. I don't care who it is. Somebody got to call in and
monitoring
back this
the
up.
phone lines.
All right.
I mean, I can get my friends to text and validate this, but
916-339-1140. If you've ever seen Kyle Ledbetter play basketball, we got to hear from you. Because this dude is saying he's the Michael Jordan of Sacramento.
Well,
so
hold on.
Top 1%. Top 1%.
Top 1% of all basketball players in Sacramento. That's a wide group, right? You might.
Yeah, but 1% is a very
it's
small.
Like you're like the top 500 or whatever it may 1,000 in the entire Sacramento. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's totally fair. There's a lot of basketball players in Sacramento. Very wide group of skill sets.
While we weighed word on that, Drapes, what do you make of this? You're not going to like this. This is but that's okay. We're talking about all sides of this Mike Brown thing. Yeah. On the text line, maybe you've seen this one already. From the 916, Mike Brown can't really expect to ask for the bag after literally just missing the playoffs. Sorry, but that cost you a couple million in bargaining, coach. The team regressed, and that's a fact and should not be acceptable.
Here's why I disagree with that. He can ask for the bag because what's our alternative? I feel like he has the leverage right now. And so, sure, they're coming off, not making the playoffs, but they did win 46 games. And if I'm correct, I need to go back and look at it really quickly. But, in the Sacramento Kings history, it hasn't happened that many times where we win 46 or more games. And so,
just the back-to-back winning seasons. He's only the second
coach other than Adelman. And Adelman. And so he can ask for the bag because he sees, I would imagine, that he's in a position of strength, a position of leverage. Who else are you going to get? Mm-hmm. If Mike Brown walks, from a PR standpoint, how bad that would be. And so I do think he can ask for the bag right now.
Speaking of the PR standpoint, the news, the reaction has not been favorable to the Kings over the weekend. So who leaked the Mike Brown report and why did they do it? When we come back, more on that with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between. Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I'm not the only one around here who's not a big Luka fan. Apparently, somebody on the chat was suggesting that they hope Luka tonight steps on a Lego. That hurt. You don't wish that on a basketball player. You have kids.
Oh yeah. I've had that happen a few times. That's the worst thing possible.
Mm-hmm. And we're still waiting to hear from anyone who's played basketball with Kyle Ledbetter, because Kyle claims to be, he says something, then he kind of walks it back a little bit. He claims to be one of the top 1% of basketball players in Sacramento. So far, no one has backed him up.
Nobody, not one. Crickets out there. Mm-hmm. We opened up the phone lines. We're ready for you. Please, somebody just back up what Kyle is saying.
We're canvassing neighborhoods.
Right.
We have people out looking, interviewing citizens. So far, no one confirmed.
Curtis Hicks says, Kyle Ledbetter, I respect your opinion about your game, but if you can't go multiple hours on the blacktop, you can't claim 1%. Ooh. Calling you out.
I have no objection to that point. I am not in running shape because I don't do enough running to consistently be out there.
So you're good for like multiple hours. Half a game or something like that.
No. I can give you 3-4 games in a row.
Half court?
Full court.
2-on-2?
5-on-5. 5-on-5. Sometimes 4-on-4. There's not always 10 people, but full court games. Sometimes, here's the thing, I'm winning every single game, and even if I lose, I'm getting picked up by the next team.
Gotcha. Oh, really?
They see me and they're like,
you're a top pick, huh? You're a first-round draft pick.
Yes, for sure.
A lot of pressure that comes with that, but Kyle handles it no problem. Now, when we left you Friday, we just had the news that was Woj, right? Woj reporting that Kings and Mike Brown had tabled talks. Who do you think leaked that story and why? I know we had said Friday, hey, it's late, it's a news dump. That kind of smells like the team would do it. The more I think about it and the more I look at the reaction to it, I don't know why the team would do that.
I think that's Mike Brown's camp.
Yeah.
And here's why. Let me follow the ant trail or whatever it's called. The day before or that morning, Carmichael Dave says, two sides, it's not if, but when. They're close, Mm-hmm. That seems like a team kind of source that would tell Dave that.
I'm assuming Dave is very well connected to the minority ownership group.
The team, right, exactly. From the team standpoint, not necessarily Mike Brown's camp. I don't think Carmichael Dave would get his information, but from the team, 24 hours later, something totally opposite comes out. And so I think that was from Mike Brown's camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you do that to sort of put pressure on the organization. You say, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is Mike Brown. Sign him. Don't do this again, And so that's why when it came out, I did not like the tenor of it, the tone of it, because this should be a harmonious marriage here. There should not be any bumps or bruisers. This is our Ubuntu Kumbaya moment. Everything is good. Let's keep the good times rolling. And that's why it hurt me so much the other day.
Yeah, and if they're negotiating, which they were, I guess they're not now, but there's obviously a lot of give and a lot of take. There's no reason to fire shots publicly. Right?
There really isn't. Yes, but people like to negotiate in the media, through the media. And now, it's who's the pressure on right now? Now it's on the Kings not to mess this up.
But if it was the Kings that leaked it, no, actually, we agree it's Mike Brown, right? Because as I say, the Kings did it, then they ended up looking bad.
They looking bad, horrible. Yeah, why would they?
Right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Rich joins us. Rich, you got some thoughts on this Mike Brown situation?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy your show. It's lively, and you get people, wanting to call in like me.
Appreciate that.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it. Kyle is great. I know exactly where he stands on this, so let me finish my point. Mike Brown's a great guy. Budenhauser was fired after winning a title. Bickerstaff was let go after making the playoffs, not losing in a play-in game. Mike Brown has made very serious gains and very serious mistakes. He's not the Messiah. Yes, I'd like Mike to get his bucks and get 10, 12 million a year. But as a businessman, Mike, you got to show, if you had made the playoffs this year, clearly, and I know there's the excuse that Malik was hurt, but you didn't even want to start Malik, and he had a big beef with you. I think the Kings are right in putting the pressure on Mike and saying, bro, you make the playoffs this year. We show improvement. You show improvement. You got a big fat deal. You don't make the playoffs. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Better coaches with better records and more credentials have been fired doing less than Mike did. So I think that it's a great tactic. I think he needs to feel the heat. If he gets a contract, I think it would be a mistake. That's just my opinion.
Thank you for sharing, Rich. Obviously, that's a dangerous position in some ways for the Kings to take, but what do you make of that?
Well, I'll let Rich say his piece. You know, he already said he knows where I stand on that.
Oh, see, he buttered you up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I know, because I want to be fair. Just because we disagree, me and you, Whitey, I'm gonna let you have your piece. I'm gonna let Rich have his piece. Here's the thing, though, about Mike Brown and why I believe he shouldn't just, coach this lame duck year, and if you make the playoffs, great. And he mentioned all those other coaches in the past who got fired. The problem the Kings are having is those organizations didn't have the history of the Sacramento Kings, botching the coaching situation, botching front office. To me, and I've only been here 3-4 years. This just finished my 4th season. But what I hear from Kings fans and those in the media is that we've had these issues before. Let's not mess this one up. We've gotten rid of Dave Yeager. We've gotten rid of Michael Malone. We ran guys out of town. Let's not do that with Mike Brown. Let's not go down this path again. We thought we had learned something. We thought this was a new day, a new organization, a new vibe, and it's coming across as the Kings being the same old Kings. Mm-hmm. So I got to see how it plays out, obviously, but whether it's $9 million or $11 million, are we really going to let a couple of $1 million, $2 million, $6 million over 3 years determine whether or not Mike Brown is our coach?
That's why I have to assume it's a significant gap. Maybe not, but I agree with you. If you're kind of close, I think the report that Dave had said, was it Dave, or there's been so many reports now? One report was Mike Brown seeks 9 to 11 million.
Yeah, 9 to 11, right?
Yeah. So let's say the Kings are coming in at 8. If they are, that's if you're like 8 and they're 9 to 11, you don't table talks because you're close.
Right.
So if they're looking 9 to 11 and you're tabling talks, there must be a
maybe they're at like 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be very discouraging, because to your point, if they're at 8 and Mike says, I'll take 9 to 11, $1 million over 3-4 years, $4 million. Like, what is that's chump change in the NBA. And so I hope that it's not over a couple of $1 million like that.
I wish I could represent Mike Brown in this, because I would tell the Kings, based on the Mark Stein report, which was the front office is upset that they didn't do anything, A, in the playoffs last year, B, didn't get to playoffs this year. I would say, look, last year, the defending world champions, right? And took them to a game 7.
Yeah.
And our best player broke his finger early in the series, and we still almost won the series. Now, I know there's no excuses, but that's a fact.
It's a
we
fact.
almost won that series. Yeah, we thought we should have won. We didn't win. This year, I don't want to point fingers, but they didn't give me anybody. They didn't give my guy anybody. They stood pat and did nothing while every other team in the West was adding players. So how, maybe you're barking up the wrong tree there. If you're upset about the coach, maybe you should be upset at somebody else about that.
And that's what I was talking about, Whitey. And I urge people to call in, because this is pissing me off right now, this Mike Brown slander. I see it on the text line. Hit us up, 916-339-1140. Why do you think Mike Brown should get paid or shouldn't get paid? I want to hear from you. Here's the thing, and you just brought it up, Whitey. We didn't make any significant changes. I watched everybody in the West pretty much get better.
Mm-hmm.
And we still won 46 games. We still had a chance to advance to the actual playoffs. We were only 2 games off of last year's pace without making any significant changes. It's like this, Whitey. It's like cooking a meal with the same old groceries you got. We ain't had no fresh fruit. We ain't had no fresh lettuce. We had wilted lettuce. We had a day-old pasta. Like, we're trying to make a meal, a gourmet meal with expired groceries. You got to add freshness. And I know they tried. Monty tried. Sasha, obviously, Chris Duarte. But those guys didn't have the kind of season that we hoped. And so, like I said before, Mike Brown had his shortcomings. He was not perfect, no doubt about it. But 46 wins in this West with that roster, with this injuries, with the production where guys, even De'Aaron Fox was less efficient, from the field. Like, I thought Mike did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Keeping the team together, too, counts for something.
The point isn't, blame Monty. You don't have to blame anybody, but it's just you can't blame Mike Brown for that.
Right.
Monty tried. Okay, there's circumstances. You don't have to blame him, but don't blame the coach.
Don't blame the coach. Exactly. I mean, I thought Mike, like I said, did a hell of a job. 46 wins. We were right in it until the last week of the season.
Held the team together,
Held the team. This team could have fallen apart. Yeah. Trust me. There were some instances getting our butts kicked by the Pelicans time and time and time again. Malik and Mike bumping heads, but then hashing it out. What's interesting about a coach, and you know this, Whitey, you've been around the game, it's not always just about X's and O's. Phil Jackson wasn't the best X's and O's guy, but he was a manager of egos and personalities. I feel like Mike Brown is a manager of egos and personalities, and he kept this team together. And so I'm not going to accept any slander right now and say Mike Brown's the reason. If he doesn't want to take it, he could get the stepping. Are we really I just looked it up, Whitey. Out of the, how many years now? 29 years, I think it is, the Kings have been here in Sacramento. Mike Brown has the 6th highest winning percentage and the 7th highest winning percentage of each season. The 48 wins, 6th highest winning. And the other 5 came during Rick Adelman's run when they, had tremendous success. He's been the 2nd best coach in the history of the Sacramento Kings. And we got some people saying, take it or leave it, or show me, prove it. He's already proven it, in my opinion.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 is it time for the Kings to pay Mike Brown. We'll come back with that. Also, we'll look at one Mike Brown misperception that we got to clear up, and we'll do that next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you one of the nearly 10 million families that own a timeshare? Unfortunately, many families stuck in timeshares have learned the dark side of ownership, as their timeshare ends up being nothing like they were promised. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you were lied to when buying a timeshare, you're going to need help. I know this because I once worked as a timeshare salesman, but quit the business and made it my personal mission to help folks get rid of bad timeshares. That's why I put together a timeshare exit information kit to help you understand how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Over 30,000 families have trusted us to get rid of their timeshares. Many started out by simply calling us for the free information kit and are now timeshare free.
To get your free information kit, call Wesley Financial now. Call 800-837-1919. That's 800-837-1919. 800-837-1919.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
On the text line, pay Mike Brown. He's changed the culture. Give this thing some time. We also have, is Mike Brown pressing because he knows that he can get a bigger bag elsewhere once his contract is up? And how about this from the 209? Kings roster has been mismanaged for years. All Mike Brown did was mismanage it less. He's still at a triple-double machine and a scoring machine in Fox and Sabonis and the best 6-man in the league and still missed the postseason. Mike Brown is not as good of a coach as he is said to be. There's a lot of that sentiment going around.
And this is what upsets me about sentiments like that. And then we saw it during the regular season. Kings fans, to me, that smells, that comment of arrogance. 2 years ago, we would have begged for the kind of season Mike Brown just had. Now we're saying he mismanagement less. He's not as good as a coach as he is said to be. What are we talking about? He has this 6th and 7th best winning percentage in Sacramento Kings history for 2 seasons. He's the 2nd best coach that we've had in Sacramento. And we don't want to pay him? And we're blaming him? It's like, what are we doing, Kings fans? Or have we forgotten where we were just a couple of years ago? Mike Brown has brought stability to the franchise, has brought respectability to the franchise. The players like playing for him. They didn't quit on the season. I never heard of any in locker room fighting or bad mouthing the coach or anything like that. It's ridiculous. Like this conversation should not even be happening.
One thing that some people are saying that I think we need to clear up, there's been a lot of people, smart people, fans and media members have been saying, wow, this sure doesn't look good if you're Malik Monk. I don't know how you feel, Kyle, but to me, this has nothing to do with Malik Monk. I mean, I hate to say it. To me, he's probably gone anyway. I don't think that he ever really had any serious issues with Mike Brown.
No.
But I don't think this is going to have anything to do with Mike Brown. Excuse me. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Malik Monk's decision.
No,
it's going to be about money. So,
right,
yeah.
Right. This is zero impact. I don't think Mike
yeah.
Brown, Malik may not wanting to play. That has there's none of that.
Right.
I think Malik's situation is independent of Mike Brown.
Yeah. That's just going to make it a lot tougher for everybody, obviously, if Malik doesn't stick around.
Yeah.
But I can't help but be alarmed, like so many other people, by the fact that here we are having this discussion that they've tabled talks. Why do you table talks now before this absolutely crucial off season? You can talk, like you can still be negotiating. Tabling talks means people are already drawing lines in the sand.
Right. Tabling talks, like you said, drawing a line in the sand, or also, you know what? We need to hit the pause button. Let's step back before it gets to be something that, somebody says something or is taken a certain way. It's frustrating, though, because, and, somebody I forget who it was on social media, said on our text line, said, pay Mike Brown. He's changed the culture. I agree. This isn't about, it shouldn't be to me. It's the new cost of doing business. If you're the Sac, for a great coach, you got to pay $10 million. That's what it is. Now, if you don't think Mike Brown is a great coach, okay, have that conversation. But what he's done here, putting Sacramento back on the map.
What did you think he was going to do when you hired him?
Right.
You're going to win 2 championships or something?
It's only 2 years in. That's the thing that upsets me, Whitey. Let this play out. If this was year 5 of the rebuild, even next year, year 3 or 4 or something like that, okay. But by all accounts, this guy has been a success since he's been here.
I can honestly, I said this last week, I could see how if you're the Kings, if you're Vivek, 11, you might go, that's a little rich for our blood. I could understand that. But at the same time, 8, somewhere around 8 seems within reason. And again, I can't imagine if they're, if Mike wants 11 and the Kings are offering 8, we got plenty of time. That's very workable. So I have to assume again that the Kings are offering something that Mike in his camp view as being like almost a low ball.
Yeah. Maybe frustrating. It's like, all right, things are good. Then they hand you that offer and you're almost disrespected by it. Like, really? And we don't know if that's the case, but for them to have this gulf, like it had to be much lower than I think Mike was expecting.
From the 916. And again, we appreciate hearing from people that are not Mike Brown fans. We're, don't agree, but appreciate hearing from them. The losses to bad teams last year is where I finally got fed up with Coach. He's the head of the snake, the leader. He is responsible for letdown after letdown against awful teams, and he is thus very culpable in missing the playoffs.
Here's the thing, though, and I hear that. And nobody's saying Mike Brown's perfect. Nobody's saying he's without criticism. I'm disappointed in the losses to bad teams as well. But with that being said, he wasn't the only issue. Look at Kevin Huerter's numbers. Look at Keegan Murray's. Look at the roster that Monty put together. They all must take blame into what this season was. It wasn't just Mike Brown. It wasn't just the players. It wasn't just Monty. Collectively, everything didn't fall into place the way everybody thought it was. And so I can't just, I'm out on Mike Brown now because we lost to the Wizards. No, come on, man. Look at Denver. They lost to a hapless San Antonio team late in the season. Is that Mike Malone's fault? No. It happens in the NBA.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Steven joins us, Sactown Sports. Hey, Steven, you're on the drive, guys. What's up?
Not much, man. Sorry about that beeping big old truck. Dude, this whole situation with Mike Brown has got me it got me super upset, super flustered, because it really shouldn't even be a discussion at all in any way, shape, or form. The man's value was not necessarily that great when we brought him in. Okay, we can call him pretty much a distressed asset at that time. Okay, not really great value. We bring him in, he does this amazing turnaround. And what's upsetting to me as a Kings fan is the fact that we get rid of coaches when we finally get a little bit of success, get a little taste of success. We're climbing this mountain. We're at the peak. We're about to go down the roller coaster, and then the ride stops. It's like, wait, whoa. What are we doing here? Why did the ride just stop here? Why are we not giving this man another opportunity to finish the job? Whatever job that is that he is entitled to finish, I feel like he deserved it more so than any other coach in the league right now that's on any sort of hot seat right now. I can't even believe that we're talking that the conversation is the fact that Mike Brown is on the hot seat. He was given the same exact roster that he had the year before, minus what? Kessler, Edwards? Really? Come on. Like, give this man some freaking tools to work with. That way everyone can get off of Mike Brown's sack and put the blame where it really needs to be. Because this is not Mike Brown's fault. This is upper management. Every time you point a finger, you got three more pointing back at you. So upper management, you guys need to do something and give this man a freaking roster so he can give you the changes that you are craving, that you're desiring, that you're wanting. Because I'm sure that with Mike Brown's bringing the Kings back into relevancy, that he's made the front office and Kings ownership a lot of freaking money than the $10 million they're trying to give him.
Gotcha, Steven.
So, I mean, yeah. I got you. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You know, a big part of the playoff lack of success is the amount of money that you make. I saw something, general terms today, and I know it's different team to team, but NBA teams, according to what I saw today, they make every game about $1.2 million. In the playoffs, you know, once you get into the postseason, everything is like gravy, right? Teams make about $2 million a game. And the Kings came so close the year before to getting into the second round. This year they had, you know, a play-in game. But I'm sure that's part of all this. It's like we need the postseason success. But I don't understand why you're not on board with Mike Brown. You brought him in if he's your guy, like Jerry Reynolds told us. You bring a guy in. If he's your coach, you find a way to keep him.
Right.
You bring it and you work away, because those guys are hard to find. And if 2 years in after what he's done, if you're not sure he's your guy, then I don't know what you're looking at. And from the standpoint of someone who wants to see the Kings do well, that's a little daunting to think of that. It's a little alarming.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing. Nobody's saying it was not a disappointing season. To miss the playoffs, that's unacceptable. It's disappointing. But heads shouldn't roll. Like, we aren't at a point where heads should roll because of that.
No, you're talking about starting over if you're talking about even considering the possibility of bringing someone else in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, what's frustrating for me, and I hear the fans out there, some of them bashing our guy Mike Brown. I mean, 46 wins? We got to remember who we are, Kings. This is only the second year of this rebuild, really, under Mike Brown. And we talked about it too, Whitey. When you look at Michael Malone in Denver, it wasn't all linear where all of a sudden every year he improved. He had some setbacks, some injuries, some disappointments, losing to the Lakers in the bubble. Like, he's had some missteps. I'll look at a guy like Rick Carlisle with Indiana, championship level coach, won a championship. He's made some mistakes in this series against Boston. Should he be fired? I think we're too quick to just give up on what we have going instead of focusing on the continuity, getting things in line. I mean, when I look at the Western Conference, the New Orleans Pelicans, they had a disappointing ending to their season. Should their coach be fired? Should Ty Lue be fired for the Clippers? Like, is that what we're in the business of? Like, I don't agree with Cleveland firing J.B. Bickerstaff. I thought he did a hell of a job. We're in such a microwave society right now where we need results here and now instead of letting things build. Mike is trying to build and change a culture, and he spoke about it, Whitey, during the season. We talk so much about heat culture throughout the NBA. Heat culture didn't happen overnight. It takes time. And if we go in a different direction with the coach, now, mind you, who hired this coach? Monty McNair. Now, if somebody else hired him and then Monty came on, okay, I see what you. But this is Monty's choice.
His first
choice, and we're already to give up on it? Nah, man.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
We've talked about why this was a disappointing years until we're as blue in the face as your headphones. And we know that a lot of that had to do with, all right, expectations were probably out of whack. And their expectations are always going to be out of whack to a degree. That's what makes you a fan, right? My team's the greatest team ever. Well, probably not. But if you've got a disappointment with Mike Brown in terms of management, because ownership thought this team was better than they were, then you got a problem. Yeah. Then you got a real problem because you got a delusional view of what your team should be accomplishing, which blinds you to what your coach has actually accomplished. And it's significant. He has accomplished a lot. And it's no, he hasn't won anything yet. And no, he hasn't gotten this team where they need to get to. But in 2 years, they've accomplished a lot. And the Kings cannot lose sight of that.
I think Mike Brown deserves the benefit of the doubt, Whitey. And this is why. And I'll point it to you like this. Was this year a disappointment?
Yes.
What was Mike Brown's first year?
A rousing success.
Some say they overachieved.
Yes.
Nobody could have expected. So he has one season in which he overachieved and had a rousing success. In his second season, we were disappointed. All right, let's see how it plays out. But to have a lame duck coach, and his disappointing season wasn't that disappointing. Let's keep it real. 46 wins. We were in it right through to the very end. Just ran into the Pelicans team that we should have beat at least once. But it's not Mike's fault. Mike has re-energized this fan base, this franchise. Sign the guy up, man. Sign him up.
Yeah, if Mike Brown isn't extended, then what? Next, with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Enjoy the prime grilling season today with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farmer.
Take my hand, let me make you mine. Hey, it's Dasha.
Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet Arch Supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet Arch Supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
We're just trying to figure it out. How is it that we're talking about the Kings and Mike Brown tabling talks? Doesn't make sense. Of course, that news broke on Friday. It just doesn't make sense. We had the report from Woj that initially suggested they'd table talks. Then we had a little more from Mark Stein suggesting that lack of playoff success and the fact that Mike Brown is seen to be asking for a significant bump, those are the big issues, the big stumbling blocks to this point. It comes down to if you have your coach that you want, you like your coach, you figure things out, and you keep him around. And you can't just assume that, well, we don't need him. He had very little to do with any of this, really. We'll just plug in somebody else. Like, who else would you even plug in?
Who could you get? You got any ideas? So I'm looking at real quick here.
They would hire somebody in-house. They wouldn't go out and hire somebody from outside.
No, they go outside, right? Who is there to hire in-house?
I just think when you have a guy who's here, part of the coaching staff, then you change the staff, and that guy's still there, that suggests management has some long-term plans for that person.
I know where you're going with this. Say it, Whitey.
Doug Christie.
You think so?
Well, again, I'm not saying he wants that or has ever said that. I'm just saying that it would follow that management has kind of had an eye on him in that regard, potentially. That's all I'm saying.
Coaching the summer league team this year, Doug, is when Alvin Gentry was out. Who did they have coaching the team? Doug Christie stepped in.
Yeah.
And Doug was a newbie at the time.
Yeah.
You had other veterans on the team, but
And
they still
I don't know,
Doug.
because I want to, I'm not saying I don't want it. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to say,
Right.
Doug Christie's trying to get the job. No, Doug Christie may be going, no, that's the last thing I want. But I would bet you that it's something that management has been, or ownership has been considering about him for a long time. That's just my guess.
Doug, a fan favorite, a legend.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would be upset if ultimately Doug was the head coach. I mean, this is a guy that bleeds purple and black, like he's Sacramento through and through. But we already got a coach. We already got the guy.
I know.
We already have a guy that's led you to the playoffs. Only one other coach has done that in the Sacramento era, and so I just think, it's a shame that instead of, and you brought this up earlier, focusing on what needs to be done this offseason, the trades, the draft, free agency, all of that. Now you got this cloud. And let me ask you this too, Whitey. Let's say this doesn't get done by June 30th, July 1st. If you're a free agent and you're looking at Sacramento, the first question I'm having is,
right,
is Mike Brown going to be here?
Right.
How long is Mike going to be here? So you need to get this bottled up and fixed and figured out before then, I think.
Yeah, we agreed. This doesn't really impact the Malik Monk situation. Right. But as far as other free agents, you got to make sure your house is in order here before you venture any further down this path of this absolutely crucial offseason that may determine your short-term future.
No.
Are you going to be good again,
Right.
or are you going to be
Right. And I think coaching is very important to free agents, knowing who the coach is going to be. And by all accounts, Mike is well respected around the NBA. I haven't heard one bad. I've talked to other assistant coaches. I've talked to other players. I've talked to players about current assistant coaches on the Kings and how they've helped them out. And by all accounts, this coaching staff is well respected. You see a guy like Jordy get a job over there in Brooklyn. To me, that's a sign of a great coach as well, is when your assistants grow and get other jobs too.
Yes.
And so give Mike some credit for that. I just hope it's not over a couple of dollars. I think Mike has earned enough and done enough to get an extension. To me, when you bring in a head coach, especially a guy like Mike, and he's had the success he's had, you try to lock him up now at today's price before the price goes up even more. He's already shown he can lead you to the playoffs. He's already shown he can stand toe-to-toe with Steve Kerr, eye-to-eye, and nearly knock off Steph Curry. Now give him the tools, give him the backing. It's frustrating, man, and I know Mike got to be torn up about this, because what more does he have to do? And, and let's just say this too, Whitey. It's on the Kings and Mike, the way they structured this contract. That's why we're in the predicament that we are, with the mutual option on the last year and everything. They had to know this year, you got to get something done. You can't wait till next year, because if you wait till next year, the price may go up. The competition for Mike Brown may go up.
Right.
Mike has the ability to walk after next year and go to Cleveland or whoever other opening may be out there.
As we said, I respect the views of anyone who doesn't feel like Mike Brown's a very good coach. I disagree with them, but I respect your views and appreciate your listening and sharing. But anyone who feels that, he's not the guy, it's time to move on, I don't understand that at all.
Right.
And again, bless you for, whatever, you're obviously entitled to your opinion. But after the last 2 years, how you could say, man, he ain't it, time to get somebody else right in the middle of things. I don't get that at all.
Right.
It's not like he's out there
something.
like, time out, I don't know what to do. He's not a bumbling fool.
Right.
He's actually accomplished things.
He's not in over his head, or you're right. He's accomplished things. You can second guess, some of the losses and things like that. But how about some of the wins? Like, can we give him credit for that? People are saying, well, you lost to Washington, you lost to this, but what about beating Minnesota twice on the road? What about beating Denver on the road? It's like we only want to look at the shortcomings, but yet we're not remembering this team won 48 games. It was third seed. Like, to get rid of him, and somebody's like, well, you look at the people who have been fired in the past, and J.B. Bickerstaff got fired, Frank Vogel got fired. I don't care what happened. I'm talking about what's happening with the Sacramento Kings right now. Are we better today than we were 2 years ago at this point?
One of the best interviews we had last week, and I thought we had some really interesting ones and good ones. One of the best ones was when we had Matt Barnes on.
Yeah.
Because remember, Matt had said, I haven't followed it as closely of late. What's going on with Mike? We explained that Mike is looking for an extension, $10 million a year. And remember, Matt Barnes said, ooh, that's
a lot of money.
And he also said he gave a very, very honest appraisal. He said, Mike, sometimes his rotations are inconsistent. Sometimes guys get buried on the bench. But he also said the Kings have this reputation for going through coaches, and Mike Brown has come in and done a good job. You can't go back to that. You can't go backwards on this lack of consistency.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's like, even if, Mike Brown isn't the end-all, be-all for the next 20 years, you got to at least give the guy an opportunity to really, change the culture and to figure things out. In 2 years, 3 years isn't enough.
Yeah.
I could, what it reminds me of, Whitey? I'll tell you something. I got a job when I first got my job in Boston at NBC Sports Boston. They had just started their, new station. It was a brand new station, a rebrand. They hired all these people. I was a young pup coming from Louisville, Kentucky. They basically gave me a series. They gave me a 2-year deal, I think, with a station option after one. It was sort of like a prove it deal. That's what I think Mike Brown's first contract with the Kings was. 3 years with the 4th year option. Approve it. Show me what you can do. By all accounts, he's overachieved. He exceeded expectations. So now I don't need to have Mike Brown on a prove it deal. He's already proven it. Now I know from a business standpoint, if I'm running it, I need to lock this guy up. What he's done for the franchise, and you pointed out, making the playoffs, how much money you get, the branding of the Kings. We are a hip, fun team right now, and Mike is a big part of that. So while we only have 46 wins, it wasn't 48, I could argue Mike Brown has more than made up his salary in the valuation of the Sacramento Kings right now.
Great point.
He helped lead this team to the playoffs. He raised the profile of this franchise. It's cool and hip to be a fan of the Sacramento Kings. You go around any arena in the NBA, when we travel, you see tons of Kings fans there. It's because of Mike Brown, because of Monty and the job he's done in the past and the players. But Mike's a big part of that also.
Yeah, Drapes, for years around here, the Kings would preach stability. Stability. I remember when they brought in Coach Yeager, they were preaching stability. Even when we just got here, it's like, well, you can't have stability already. You got to keep him a while.
Right.
But if you're going to preach stability, then bring in a coach who wins Coach of the Year, get you into the playoffs, and the next year you have another winning record. If you're not going to embrace that stability, if you're going to turn your back on that after 2 years and bring in somebody else, then you can never tell us about stability again because you don't know what it is.
It's not about stability then. Yeah, stability to me is, if I'm Mike Brown, I'm just finished my 2nd year. I got the 3rd year, then the option. I probably want a 3 to 5 year extension right now. Probably I'd take a 3-year deal right now, because you need 5 years, 6 years to really build something and to change a culture and build a culture, I think.
When we come back, we'll get to the phones, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Also ask the question, is there any way the Kings can compete next season without making a major move? Can that even be on anybody's radar? As we roll on, more on that with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season. And we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
We see a lot of news about teens vaping, but teens see something else. Videos on social media that glamorize it and downplay the dangers of nicotine. How can parents talk so kids will listen? Use facts. 1. Nicotine can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can make teens more anxious. 3. Changes to the brain can be permanent. So even when it hides behind a new look, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
The Summer Starts Here sales event is on now through Memorial Day at your Toyota dealer. Hit the road in a brand new Toyota truck and explore new trails on any terrain. The time is now, so don't miss out. Right now, get financing as low as 0% APR on 2024 Tundra Hybrid or up to $2,000 cash back. Or check out the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry, Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Tundra Capstone models only. Excludes TRD Pro. N6324.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
A lot of basketball fans are really unhappy with Bronny. Have you seen the Strapes?
No.
Bronny has invitations from 10 teams to work out. He's turning down 8 of them. And he's planning to work out, according to reports, with the Lakers and the Suns. That's because, his dad says, yeah, we're going to go to the Lakers, but, you got to keep somebody else in the loop for some leverage. So we'll just do Phoenix.
Just Phoenix, too.
So some fans, and I disagree with them, they're saying, if you're Bronny James, you're going to turn down 8 workouts? Yeah, but it's It's Brawny. It's not just any guy.
Right. Yeah. It's, what did Eli Manning do? When he was drafted, I'm not going, what was it, San Diego at the time?
Yeah.
He's like, no, because he had that kind of leverage. Bronny James, sure, he wants to pursue his basketball. He knows he's going to get drafted by somebody.
Right.
And, Rich Paul, his agent, clearly knows something,
He also said, Rich Paul said, we're not doing a two-way.
No, right.
Yeah,
they're dictating to you what it's going to be.
Yeah, I understand. People are saying he's not that good. How can he turn down these workouts? Well, he can afford to turn them down because he knows he's taken care of.
He's taking care no matter what. His fallback plan is fine. And I would imagine, sort of like Giannis's brother, even if, a team drafts him, cuts him, or whatever, Lakers will find a way to sign him. Like whoever has LeBron will find a way to.
Now, what are the Suns doing? They really seem to think that they have a shot.
I read that somewhere at LeBron. He's the missing piece. I don't like that move. Like it would remind me of the Lakers back with Karl Malone and Gary Payton and Kobe, a big four. That didn't work out.
This Ishbia guy is wild.
I think so. Yeah.
This Ishbia guy's crazy.
He's got new owner fever.
Yes.
Is what he has. The only play would be, look, LeBron, look at the talent we have here. We can't pay you what you deserve. So you wouldn't get the money, but you win a championship, and then you're just one away from
Mike. That should be LeBron's only focus right now.
Really?
Right? Yes. But that wouldn't get it done. That team would. You know how old that team is? I guess I'll broke it down. I mean, no, at Phoenix, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen there.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. The Mike Brown conversation continues. What is going on? Is there something we're missing? Is there some aspect of this that we're just not getting? Because it doesn't make sense. How about Peter joining us here on Sactown Sports? Hello, Peter. Can you make sense of any of this?
I just heard about it. I'm a little bit surprised. The good news, I don't think they're giving Mike his walking papers, or we'd have heard that by now. I guess my question is Mike stuck on the nut, whatever his figure is? Is he willing to negotiate? Like you said, a good 5 years is a legitimate amount of time to work out your offense, your defense, your plays, your schemes, whatever you want to work on. I think he does deserve a few more years. Is he asking for too much? Some people might say yes, some might say no. It's going to come down to how much, someone's going to have to budge a little bit, right?
Right. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what we're missing. Maybe Mike Brown's asking for 14. I don't think so.
No, there's no way, right? I mean,
you're right.
We heard 9 to 11, 10 to 12. I mean, I just think it's negotiating. I think, honestly, when it's all said and done, and we won't know the details, 9 sounds about right. 9 to 10 sounds about right for Mike Brown and what he's done. That's the going rate now. I mean, you look at Doc Rivers, you look at, Mike Budenholzer, and people say, well, Mike Budenholzer won a championship. Well, look at the team they had. Give Mike that talent and let's see. So, no, it's, like you said, maybe some people know something we don't. We both think Mike Brown deserves it.
Lars joins us here at Sactown Sports. Hello, Lars. How are you?
Hi. I just want to talk a little bit about Jordy, Doug Christie, Lindsey Harding, and some of those options to replace Mike.
Yeah.
And what the succession plan is.
Well, it ain't Jordy. That's for sure. Jordy's gone.
Yeah,
so,
he's leaving for the Nets, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I think if they really wanted Jordy to stay, if maybe they would have, I don't know if they could have gotten him to stay, but if they could have done a little wink nudge, been like, hey, Jordy, here's this pay raise, and maybe a year or two you can take over for Mike. That'd be a little bit of a different situation. But he walked, and so now I think I like Doug. He's a great guy, but I think Lindsey Harding is now probably, if someone who's in the organization right now is going to come and take over, it would be her, right? Because she just won D-League Coach of the Year. Jordan Ford, who is on both teams. I think he's seems to be a big fan. I think and that would be cool because if I'm correct, she'd be the first woman head coach in NBA history, right?
Yeah, she would.
That's right, Lars. It's an interesting thought. I kid you not. There's one game. I'm walking down the stairs after the game to go to the interview room, and I had that thought. Yeah, if Mike Brown wasn't the coach, who would be the coach? And the door opens, and I go to step into the tunnel, and she walked.
Oh, it's Lindsay. Is it a sign? Right?
I sure hope that would be on many levels. It'd be hailed as a very significant moment. I don't want the Kings hiring anybody other than Mike Brown, A.
Right.
B, if they do hire someone other than Mike Brown, I do not want it to be someone who's never been an NBA head coach. I don't care.
Tell me why, though. Tell me why.
Because this is a crucial period, and we need someone with some experience. We can't have a coach learning to coach on the job while we're in the middle of this.
So nobody that's an
delicate
assistant right now. You need somebody with head coaching NBA experience.
Yes. There are assistants who've been not on this team. Well,
Jay's been a head coach before.
But
Yeah.
I don't want anyone who's never been a head coach.
What's interesting about that, Whitey?
We do want Mike.
We want Mike. But look at the trend of coaches being hired right now.
Understand that.
The young Charles Lee of the world. Sam Cassell getting his name thrown out there. J.J. Redick. I feel like nowadays the young
Joe Mazzulla.
Ime Udoka. A couple years, the young, inexperienced, not the retreads, like the Doc Rivers of the world, Mike, who I'm a fan of? JB Bickerstaff. I love Jay. I think he would be a fantastic coach. But Mike Brown is our guy. And then when I look at the assistants, I don't know if anybody's ready to be in that seat to lead.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about Doug Christie. Doug's my guy, obviously. I don't know if he's ready yet or not. So to your point, at least, in your eyes, have somebody that, all right, I know what they've done before.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the job to be coming, trying it out, first job kind of thing. Yeah, I hear you on that.
I think in Boston, now Boston is a team that hired both Udoka and
Joe Mazzulla.
But they had everywhere else on the roster, front office, they had a lot of stability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was easier. Here, we are still figuring a lot of things out. When we're still trying to figure out, team identity, how good are we? Bringing in new players, to bring in a head coach who'd never been a head coach before, I think that's very dangerous because we don't have the institutional stability.
Right, the stability that you're talking about. That's why it's so important to get this done with Mike Brown. You got Monty locked up. Get Mike Brown locked up. You got the ownership locked up. You got your stars, Fox and Sabonis locked up. Stability, I think, is key for this organization.
Yeah. Just talk to them. Hey, De'Aaron. Hey, Domas. How you like Mike Brown? Good. All right. Hired. Done.
Sign on the dotted line.
Yes. And then we move on. We'll get back to the phones when we come right back. Also look at Anthony Edwards. Is he confident or just in denial? That's next with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well, we didn't expect to be talking about this today, Tuesday after Memorial Day. To Drive Guys, Kevin Whitey, Gleason, Kyle Draper, Kyle Ledbetter, who is among the, by his own estimation, top 1% of basketball players in the city of Sacramento. Joining us, he's in for Jay today.
Humbly.
Did you meant that? Top 1%?
Of all basketball players. I'm not saying of the people who are actively out playing basketball. I've seen hundreds of people playing basketball in Sacramento, and I am of the top 5 to 6.
Because that's elite, right? You're talking about you are one of the elite players in the city.
Yeah, no, I am a very good basketball player, humbly, and I have seen people who are better than me, but it's not a lot.
Just probably like watching the NBA and stuff. That's probably where you see people better than you.
You know, NBA, a little bit of college basketball, you know. Remember about a year ago where LeBron had that tweet where he was like, these college players, like, I know these players in the NBA aren't as good as Bronny. Yeah, that's me watching basketball all the time, of course.
Okay. All right. I mean, he sticks to his guns. I'll give him that. You know,
I mean, you got to have confidence, right? You got to have confidence. Still waiting on that caller, though.
Yeah, I also want to reiterate, at any other thing in my life, I am not like this at all. It's just basketball.
I find myself, we were in San Francisco over the weekend visiting family.
Yeah.
We drove by some playground somewhere. I don't know, so kind of in the Richmond district. I saw some guys out there playing hoops. And then I have this, it's a bad habit, Kyle, but I found myself looking at them going, I still think I could destroy
You still can take
all
him.
those guys.
Dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
That's
I go
here.
out there. And
the rest of the body won't react that way.
Yeah.
Well, for Whitey, yes. For me, I go out there and I win 15-2. You know,
Kyle, let me ask you this.
Yeah,
because you're a stand-up comedian, also, right?
Yes, but I'm not of the top 1% of those.
Are you more confident in your comedy or basketball game?
Oh, basketball for sure. I'll give you this. There are comedians who have played with me who introduced me as the best basketball player in Sacramento.
Dude, you know what? I'm retired. I'm old. My knees are bad. But you make me want to go suit up right now and school you, bro. Seriously, that's just the drapes coming out here. Like, you're doing an awful lot of talking. I need you to back it up, big fella.
I would love to. We've been trying to coordinate a station basketball game at some point, but I don't know. I haven't followed up with details on that.
Dude, I can arrange that. Are we playing outdoors or indoors? We could go 9th and P.
Yeah,
let's do it. One weekend,
whatever.
Or sometime during the day, whatever. We do the show from there.
Yeah.
We go out there and hoop it up. Would you play, Whitey?
Yes.
You down there?
Yes.
I think Whitey got a shot though. I think he's a 3-point threat. Set shot Guy Buford over here.
What I am anymore.
But you can still knock him down.
I'll take you to the basket.
Yeah. Humbly, a very good basketball player.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. This debate over Mike Brown is really heating up on the chat.
Is
here.
it? Okay.
Gold, silver, and diamonds. I believe gold, silver, and diamonds is one of those who's not that enamored of Mike Brown. A culture of underperforming and losing 20 to 30 point leads.
Unbelievable. See, this is a troll right there, man.
Manny, someone has to right the ship when it's off course. That's what I do. That's what gold, silver, and diamond says.
I'm just reading this guy. All his stuff is negative, man. I can't do that.
What happened to first unanimous coach of the year in NBA history?
People forget that, right? It's Mike Brown slander. We just not going to have it.
Maybe that's a matter of people didn't expect the Kings to be good last year, and so they at the end of the year were like, we're going to give them every award because we didn't foresee the light the beam season happening at all. But it's still funny to stop and think about that.
Curtis Hicks says, I swear some of you are bots or organization plants. How can you say for Mike Brown to not be greedy? That statement should be saved for billionaire owners.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
It's just it's unfortunate that we're at this point. I am surprised by how many people, or at least how vocal the anti-Mike Brown people are. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I had the good fortune before I was here. I was in the Bay Area, and the people were, there was a number of people
Ripping
that stand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the year they won their last championship. Even then, it's like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to do this or that. So I guess that's always going to be part of the process.
I mean, and it's all relative too, right? Not everybody could be Eric Spoelstra or, some of these, look at a guy like Chris Finch, excuse me. Great coach, led Minnesota. They're about to get swept out. Underperformed this playoffs, coming up short in this series. Nobody's asking for his head. Like, what are we talking about? Now, let me ask you, the people at home this. Let me throw this question out there, Whitey.
Some of the people aren't at home. They're driving around.
Yeah, people driving at work, wherever. If Vivek said, you know what? I want to bring Mike Brown back for $6 million a year. Would those people who are critical of Mike Brown be okay with bringing Mike Brown for $6 million a year?
Good question.
You see where I'm about to go with this?
Yeah, I do.
So if you're okay with that, the only problem you have is a difference of $3 or $4 million, which money should not be the issue. It doesn't count against the salary cap. It's not your money. You either got to believe Mike Brown's a good coach or not, and the money shouldn't matter. But if you're okay with them bringing him back for $6 million a year, why aren't you okay with them bringing him back for $9 million or $10 million?
Great question. By the way, speaking of Finchy and the T-Wolves, I mentioned Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards.
Our guys.
Anthony Edwards still, they're down 3-0. He still is not giving up. He says, time to make history, fellas. I still don't feel like they can beat us, bro. That's great, right? You're down 3-0. I still don't feel like they can beat us, bro.
Exactly. Hey, you got to be confident. He's one of, even though they've waxed you 3 straight times now.
Yeah.
But he's saying they haven't played their best game. They are hitting on all cylinders. And when you look at it, Cat hasn't played well. Edwards, and they've been in all the games. So I see that, right?
Right.
We'll find out here in about an hour or so whether he actually believes it and can back it up.
You need that attitude sometimes.
You have to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's a reason why nobody has ever come back from down 3-0. 0-154. Edwards may not believe that, but what about Rudy Gobert? What about Towns? What about McDaniels? Their spouses are already making off-season plans. Trust me on that. They've already had this may be done tonight. Where do you want to go, honey? Like, I guarantee you it's entered a conversation, a thought, maybe not them, but the spouses, significant others, kids, they're already planning the vacation.
Yeah, so they're making the plans even if they haven't mentioned it yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll see tonight, man, if they can put up a fight.
Let's talk to George here. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hello, George. What's up?
Hey, not too much, guys. Thank you so much for this great conversation. But I am kind of like, I want you guys to educate me a little bit. Wondering why in the world that the general managers are not in the hot seat while the coaches are constantly in the hot seat. And at this point, I have no choice but to talk a little bit about the Dallas Mavericks. What the Dallas Mavericks did last summer, they got Lively, which he's going to be a future starter center. They actually got Jones. And then 4 months later, they traded for Gafford and Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, they're going to the finals. While the Kings, a whole entire 12 months, we got Duarte. Really, you guys? Duarte? Is that the best we can come up with? And I've heard it so many times in your guys' station and other people. They're saying, well, he tried. The general managers tried. Oh, really tried? How come 10, 15 other teams tried and succeeded and McNair did not succeed? Right? So if anybody should be in the hot seat, should not be Brown, it should be McNair. And I would like to hear your response. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, George. I have an answer for that, but
you're going to defer to me on this one?
I'll go first.
No, I want to hear it. Yeah, go ahead. Because that call just made me hot. I'm going to calm down for a second. Go ahead.
I don't know for a fact that this applies to this situation you're talking about with the Kings, but I know sometimes you will have a GM who is careful to do what ownership wants. If the GM is making moves that don't work out, but he's doing what the ownership wants, and the coach is doing things that the ownership doesn't necessarily agree with, the GM ain't going to be on the hot seat. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but you framed it initially as kind of a general question. Why are coaches on the hot seat? GMs aren't. It depends who the GM is. Sometimes the GM is just doing what the owner wants them to do, in which case, if it doesn't work out, you can't really blame the GM.
Yeah, that could be the case, and we're not saying that it is.
Right.
I also think Monty has built up enough goodwill and enough grace to give him some patience. And that's why we've said it on this air on the Drive Guys here on Sactown Sports 1140, that this offseason is critical for the Kings and for Monty himself. Last offseason, got Duarte, got Sasha, didn't pan out. The risky propositions didn't pan out. Trade deadline didn't do anything. So I don't think he's on the hot seat. I do think he has been given enough grace and enough, leash, if you will. The Sabonis trade was ballsy. Let's call it what it is. He hit on that. Keegan Murray, that draft pick. Tyrese draft pick. He's done some good things. So I think he has enough goodwill built up. Now, if this continues another year, nothing this offseason, nothing at the trade deadline, then you can start questioning. Mm-hmm. I do feel like we are so quick to make changes and fire people. Let people grow into their jobs. Let people make mistakes, learn from them, and get better. And so I think when you look at Monty McNair, his offseason moves didn't pan out. But he's not the first GM to his. Look at James Jones out there in Phoenix and what they did. They swung for the fences and struck out. Like, they went for it and struck out. Sometimes it wins, you hit. Sometimes you strike out. Monty, for lack of a better phrase, he struck out, but he does get another crack at it. Like, he's built enough goodwill to get another crack at it.
Phoenix is a good example. When the GM did those things, he did that with the blessing of the ownership, right?
Right.
So when it doesn't work out, how can you blame the GM? Another big difference, I think, between Dallas and the Kings, and it's an interesting comparison you make, George. I don't have the transactions in front of me, but Dallas, if I remember correctly, not everything they did last offseason worked. Like, didn't they got Rashawn Holmes? And they had JaVale McGee. But when they recognized mistakes and they moved on from it, whereas the Kings would make a move if it didn't work out, they'd kind of settle for that. Like, well, hopefully it will work out.
People are quick to forget their biggest move of the offseason was sign and trade for Grant Williams, where I believe they gave up multiple seconds, and they pivoted off of Grant Williams real quick.
Yeah, so they made some moves, didn't work out, and then they did something else.
And you also have to remember, too, last year at this time, the Kyrie trade had not worked out, but they gave it time, right? They brought Kyrie back.
They did.
They said, all right, let's get a full training camp. Let's get some time together. And so it took some time. Moves don't just always happen like the Gafford and P.J. Washington move. Kyrie getting traded there, that didn't work out last year, but they stuck with it, and now it is working out.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Is it time for the Kings to settle this and pay Mike Brown? And when we come back, a former Sacramento King goes after Draymond Green. We're right back with that on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Let's go! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive presents Flo and JD announcing a monster truck rally.
And here comes the Obliterator. Whoa! And he's up on two wheels. That can't be safe. Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards. Did he even check his blind spot? And the car's on fire. I definitely don't recommend that. This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for watching us on YouTube. We, of course, have monitors around our studios of events going on all around the world in sports. Michael Wilbon's face is up here. Did you know that Michael Wilbon is involved in a very unusual and unlikely media feud with Ken Rosenthal?
I did hear that. I did see that. Yeah.
Ken Rosenthal, the baseball guy with the bow ties. I'm Ken Rosenthal. He's upset because Michael Wilbon last week, I think it was on PTI, he was going off on how he was watching a baseball game and O'Neal Cruz got a couple hits for the Pirates and they showed his exit velocity.
Yeah.
And Michael Wilbon's like, I don't care about exit velocity. All this, they're ruining sports. I don't care about this stuff. And Ken Rosenthal came out and said, oh, it's too bad Michael Wilbon. He wishes he hadn't said that because he's been roundly criticized. And this is what happens when a basketball guy talks about baseball. And it's like, my goodness. I don't know why Ken Rosenthal's overreacted. Both of them overreacted, right? If you don't care about exit velocity, fine. Just don't pay any attention to it.
Yeah. And Rosenthal basically said, that's why I stick to the one sport that I actually know instead of talking about sports I don't know. And so that was a shot. And he lumped him and Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith had the Mike Trout take that he had.
Yeah.
And so
Rosenthal saying these people shouldn't talk about baseball. But Wilbon and Stephen A., they talk about all sports.
They talk about everything.
Whether you like it or not. I mean, they talk about all the sports.
Yeah, they aren't just specific. I mean, they are viewed sort of more as basketball, but that's because that's what we see them as.
To me, they're both wrong. I mean, you're entitled. You don't
like
that.
It's okay to be wrong.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to be wrong. And Michael Wilbon, let's not be, one of the most respected journalists. And that's what Ken Rosenthal said. Respects Michael, loves Michael.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
but he needs to stay in his lane, stick to what he knows best. So you see what I put up here real quick on TV, big fella. I told you I'm a fan kid. LA Sparks, Indiana Fever. Kyle Ledbetter's bummed he can't watch it back there. I don't know if he has it on back there.
Didn't they just play out here and now they're back there?
Yeah, down there in Indiana.
I'm going to switch it now. I have Impractical Jokers on this TV for some reason.
Gotta watch my girl Cameron Brink put in some work.
Man, how do you think Kyle Ledbetter would do playing against WNBA competition?
I don't know. Why don't we ask him? How would you do, Kyle?
If I played one-on-one against, call it Caitlin Clark, I would lose 15-0.
Okay, all right. Really? Just making sure.
I would get smoked out the building immediately. If I tried to guard Cameron Brink, she would score every single time.
All right, just making sure. I'm trying to see where your level of confidence is at there. Okay.
this was a trend on TikTok that Simone was showing me, is that people were asking their boyfriends how they thought they would do against WNBA players one-on-one. And if they answered anything other than 12-0, you lost the challenge.
I was at the not the WNBA store, the NBA store in New York once.
Yeah.
And they have these basketballs with handprints in them. Oh. And have you seen those?
I haven't seen them.
Okay, so like one is like, you can imagine how big, like Patrick Ewing's hand.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at all of them, and I was trying to find one that my hand was nearly as big as. And I found one's like, remember Alan Level? I thought, he's not that big. I put my hand in there. It's like, oh, his hand's way bigger than mine. I finally found one that was close. And I put my hand in, and it was a little bigger than mine, but it was close. And I looked, and the name was Teresa Witherspoon.
So she had bigger hands than you. Wow. Dang.
Yeah. Like, okay, I guess my hands aren't that big. We have another media feud going on between Draymond Green and a former Sacramento King, the great Eddie Johnson.
Ooh,
EJ.
What did he say?
With the Suns. He didn't like Draymond going after Rudy Gobert. Yeah. Do we have any of that sound from? Okay, because the fans were saying Draymond sucks. Draymond.
Oh
sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a little bit of that sound for you.
When you ended up with Rudy Gobert, was that the matchup that you were looking for when you saw him come out on that defensive possession?
Yeah, I told you live set a screen because they're gonna switch, and then we wanted that. Yeah.
Rudy sucks, not me. What I do
again?
I didn't do anything. What's going at me for? You did it to them, not me. Hey, go on. We'll see y'all next year.
So, yeah, he's been going on and on about Rudy Gobert. So Eddie Johnson says, you cannot let your jealousy of a man who has 4 DPOY to your 1 cloud your professionalism on national TV as an employed analyst, a current player ripping another for personal reasons who is in a conference final, and you are hired to talk about the game is wrong.
100% agree with our guy Eddie Johnson.
Me too.
Like Draymond, you could tell he has his favorites and guys he doesn't like, and he brings that to the set. And he's hard to watch on TNT. I can't watch. Like, I get, maybe you're looking for the next thing, or, but why ruin it with Draymond Green? ESPN's trying it with Chris Paul. I don't think that quite works out. Like, Draymond is the wrong guy. He had a bright television career ahead of him, but he's ruining it because of his personal feelings and attacks and vendetta. And Rudy Gobert is the punching bag right now for some reason. Every time the T-Wolves lose, it's Rudy Gobert's fault. And so I can't watch Draymond because he's a hypocrite. I can't watch him.
I agree with you, but I wonder, honestly, I agree with you. I wonder if you're TNT, you're looking at that going, this is great. This is exactly, we want Draymond saying things that get people riled up and fired up. And when they get Eddie Johnson coming after him, that's great because that creates the kind of interest we want.
I don't think, and I hear you, no,
I'm with you, but I'm just guessing that's one of the things they like about having him on.
And that may be the case, but they're already great. You know what I mean? It's not like they could be greater. Oh, we're going to get more eyes now that Draymond is on. I think Draymond is so polarizing that he would go have the opposite effect. Like, I don't watch him when he's on as much anymore. I just don't pay attention because of the personal attacks and how he feels personally. Like, I don't think he adds anything to their show. That's just me. And so they've sort of lost me as a viewer when he's on there. So I think it's gone the other way to an extent.
Yeah, I feel almost like tawdry when I'm watching him, and then he's making fun of Rudy Gobert. It's like, nah, I don't care about. We know about that. We know how you feel about him. Quit reminding us.
Right.
Tell us what's going on in the game.
Right. And the one thing he did do that I thought was halfway decent and good, and if he stays in this lane, I think he can really be good. They had Daniel Gafford on after a game. I think it might have been game 3. And he was talking about how to defend and, do this when this happens and really talking basketball, not calling anybody trash or not bad-mouthing anybody, actually talking X's and O's. If he sticks with that, I think he could be good.
Yes, the very best analyst, in my opinion. I don't know if they're the best in terms of the ratings or in terms of what their networks want, but the guys that come out and tell you about the game, and take themselves out of it. Draymond now, and I don't think he used to be this way. Now, that's the first thing he's telling me is, hey, I'm Draymond Green. It's like, I know that. Get that out of the way and tell me what's actually going on in the game.
Yeah, I think he's sort of starting to, believe his own press clippings, being a caricature of himself. Like, he's playing that role, and it's just not good. Like, he's a very knowledgeable basketball player. His basketball IQ is up there. That's what we want from him. Mm-hmm. We don't want the cheap shots and the, digs and everything like that. We want his basketball knowledge. That's what I want anyway.
Mm-hmm. So you want this series to continue. You want it to be extended tonight.
Yeah, I need basketball. I can't go 9 days without a game.
You got your beloved WNBA.
I can't have both. I'm greedy, big fella. I'm watching, my Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark going against Cameron Brink and the Sparks, and I'll be watching that. But think about it, 9 days in between games. What are we going to talk? Maybe some trades will happen, something like that. But it's like almost out of sight, out of mind if you're the NBA. What are we going to talk about?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, but to me, once it's clear which way a series is going, I just want it over.
You just want it done.
When it's this one-sided. Let's just settle it rather than, I don't want to see somebody getting hurt. That's going to impact the finals. By the way, is Porzingis going to play? Do we know?
Yeah, in the finals, he's going to play. He's
then that's over too.
Right. But let me ask you this. You say that now, but were you thinking that when the Miami Heat were up 3-0 over the Boston Celtics, then the Celtics clawed back in, forced a game 7? That was thrilling, right?
It was. It was the weirdest thing because then you knew every game where it was like, Boston's out of it. They can't win. They won. Then when they get to a game 7, they're home. They're supposed to win. And then
I tell you what.
Hopefully they're over that for their sake.
Tatum got hurt on the first play.
But they were going to lose anyway, Kyle. Come on.
That is fair. I'm not even going to dispute that.
But here's the thing. If I'm Minnesota, all you got to do is get tonight. You get tonight, you go back home on Thursday, then the pressure starts to change. It's going to happen someday, right, Whitey? Somebody's going to come back from 3-0. Mm-hmm. It's not going to go through the entirety of time. And this Minnesota team, although they look defeated, Cat looks awful, Edwards looks gassed, they have the talent to do it. I want to see just the Mavs face a little bit of pressure.
No, you're right. If somehow you win the next 2, then
game 6 on your own floor, you got to win that if you're Dallas because you don't want to go to Minnesota.
Or even if you just win tonight, it's 3-1 and you're not down 3-0 anymore.
Yep, exactly. And so,
but they're done. It's not going to.
You're right. Like I said, some of their family members already planning their vacations.
Yeah. We got a little NFL note to get to when we come back. Brandon Ayuk with his contract dispute with the 49ers. He wants a lot of money.
Yeah.
Some of these people say, Mike Brown wants a lot of money. No, Brandon Ayuk wants a lot of money. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. The weather will stay very nice throughout the evening hours tonight. We'll have clear skies and a delta breeze that will eventually cool us to the mid-50s by morning. Tomorrow, sunny, a little bit warmer than today. Look for highs in the upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie.
Take my hand, let me make you mine. Hey, it's Dasha.
Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light.
You've seen the specials on Amazon, Netflix, Showtime, and more. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
Babe, can I go with Steve and have a drink at the casino?
And then she started to speak wife. She looked at him right in the face and she goes, you can do whatever you want. And his dumb goes, told you. I go, oh, no, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Steve Trevino. Saturday, June 1st, the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're just talking about Draymond Green, and on the YouTube chat, Manny Too Legit asks, I remember when Draymond choked Gobert, Rudy wasn't doing anything or even resisting. He was like, what's going on? But I can't remember what was the cause of that choke. Do you guys know? I think there was a fight. I think it was like
Clay and
Jaden McDaniels or something.
Got tangled up one, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then once it was a fight, as I recall, Draymond just went right after Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Like, fight? I'm getting him.
Yeah. He went right after Rudy, and I don't think Rudy was even dead. I think he was trying to play peacemaker, break it up. Rudy minding his business, not really doing much, but Draymond viewed it as a chance to get a shot in on Rudy, I thought.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, no one's going to see this. So,
Draymond said, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. And went over there. And
and Gobert was smart enough to realize, I'm just not going to do anything. And then that was kind of the beginning of, well, not the end necessarily for Draymond, but that led eventually to him getting suspended after he went after Nurkic.
Yeah, and then he hit Nurk.
He was going a little crazy this year.
Yeah, and TNT brought him back again, and I don't think he adds anything to that show. It's just hard to watch for me.
Yeah, like I said, I think he adds less than he used to even.
Yeah.
He's less him.
It's
less
right.
natural.
And I think people are tired of his act. You know, it's he's living off the 4 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's living off of, Steph Curry's back. He's riding his coattails. And it's like, dude, you're a good player, probably a Hall of Famer. But, the antics and everything, it's gone too far. Like, it's turned us off. And so I tune him out.
I'm going to sound like I'm swerving out of my lane to take a cheap shot at somebody here.
Go for it.
I don't mean to. That's not my point. Talking about announcers and how they sometimes seem kind of affected. I never thought that when I saw Chris Webber on TV that I was really hearing Chris Webber. To me, he was so conscious of being a broadcaster that I just felt like, I don't think that's really Chris. He was fine, but I just felt like this is a really bright guy who has a unique perspective on the game. But I just felt like he was always trying to be a basketball broadcaster, and I felt like I never actually heard Chris Webber.
That's a great point you make, and you might be right about that. I'm trying to remember C. Webb, the broadcaster, and nothing really stands out to me. But, from a broadcasting perspective, I just want to relate it to my career. I remember starting out in the TV business, and I tell young people when I speak to them all the time, I was trying to be a sports broadcaster. I had this idea of what a sports broadcaster was. And I'm like, hi everybody, Kyle Draper here. But it is like, you know how it is, in media, in radio, people want to get the authentic you, and I tell young broadcasters this all the time. There are a lot of people that can do the job. Chris Webb, fine. He can do the job. But the ones who really resonate with the viewer, the listener, are the ones that show more of their personality, who they are. And then people at home feel like they know him. And so to an extent, like you were saying, Chris Webber, we never really got to know who C. Webb was from a broadcasting standpoint. Yeah, exactly. But, when we used to watch Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, we sort of knew who they were. When you watch Mike Breen, when you watch some of the best broadcasters out there, who are some of the best color guys out there right now? Bill Walton. We knew who Bill Walton was,
Definitely.
And so, like, I don't know. I feel like now with JJ Redick, Doris, we don't actually get to know who they are as much anymore.
How do you feel about, and you may not want to talk about that.
I'll talk about anything.
Reggie Miller, because to be totally frank, Reggie Miller used to drive me nuts. I just like, oh my goodness. And now I've gotten to the point where I enjoy him because I feel like, okay, he's a little over the top sometimes, but I feel like he's really having a good time and he's really passionate about this and he has a perspective that I'll never have. So I've gone from where it's like, oh no, him, to now it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with him.
I'm the total opposite when it comes to Reggie Miller. And maybe it's just because I feel like he maybe talks too much.
He does.
Maybe I disagree with his opinions or something like that. Sometimes I sit there and I'll be like, damn, Reggie, just shut up, shut up. And so I'm not a big fan of the broadcasting side of Reggie Miller. Great player, Hall of Famer, obviously, one of the best shooters. I'm not on Reggie's side when it comes to, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's subjective. We live in a subjective business.
Grant Hill, I feel like is, he's just such the consummate gentleman. Sometimes I feel like I want a little more than that.
Yeah.
Give me a little edge, and I just feel like I'm Grant Hill. I'm not going to give that to. Like, okay, all right. Okay.
And somebody that everybody's hyping up is Jamal Crawford right now, who I love as a player and as a person. He did me a solid, but he's not there yet for me. He's just not there yet for me. You know who I do like? Greg Anthony. You ever hear it? All right, were you thinking Greg Anthony? Okay, yeah. I'm a Greg Anthony guy. I like GA. Something about him, I don't know what it is. I just think like he's succinct, he's to the point, he's knowledgeable, and he can joke too. Like I like Greg Anthony.
I know that Jalen Rose is still doing some pods, but I liked him on games.
Yeah. Jalen Rose is good. From a local standpoint.
I thought was because he really thought about it and knew what he was talking about.
And from a regional standpoint, one of our guys, Antonio Daniels, I love, he could talk about anything. I love, because he speaks with passion, knowledge, doesn't always agree. Like, he calls it like he sees it. Those are the kind of guys I like. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Bill Walton. Bill Walton he kind of had Katie's job for a while.
Yeah. Bill Walton,
Kings broadcaster. Yep. They were getting ready to move to Anaheim, so they had Bill Walton as analyst and then Jim Gray as a sideline reporter. Because
Jim Gray was the sideline?
Yes.
Wow.
Because they were getting ready to go, and they thought, this, that'll get us. We'll be more palatable in the LA market with those.
Really?
Guys. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
I had no idea.
I mean, that's the way it looked to me. I don't know if they ever actually admitted that, but yeah, Jim Gray and Bill Walton. And Bill I don't think he did every game, but I think he filled in for Jerry sometimes. And then I think he was going to be, when they moved down there to Anaheim, he was going to be the regular guy.
And what year was this? When was this?
Well, the Anaheim move was the 2010-2011 season.
Okay.
Yeah. That was when it was rumored they might be going.
Yeah. And we all
Jim Gray a sideline?
Yes. What? Yes. On my
NBC's?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I didn't know we had Bill Walton on one time, and he, I think, almost literally talked the whole time. And my sense was he doesn't want us to ask any questions about like moving to Anaheim or any of that. So he just
kept yapping.
Yeah.
Ate up all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know. That was the sense I got.
I was thinking too with this whole TNT NBA rights, we may not hear Kevin Harlan after next year calling NBA games. And I think he's
That's just
fantastic.
wrong.
I know,
He's so
right?
good.
He's like, yeah, it's like, and he talked about his love for the NBA. And I'm like, dang, it's not just inside the NBA we're going to lose. We're going to lose Kevin Harlan as well.
You know who I really like is the guy we talked to the day of the Kings' worst game is Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson, yeah. He's a TNT guy too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he won't be on. That's
Yeah.
tough. He's excellent. He's on everything now.
Yeah.
Baseball.
We have a
you know.
little bit of him. This is he's doing the Brewers game yesterday.
Okay.
Craig Counsell was from Milwaukee. He played for the Brewers, ended up becoming their manager. He was beloved, and then he left for the Cubs to become their manager. So yesterday he was back in Milwaukee for the first time.
Craig Counsell was.
Yes,
Yeah.
but now he's the manager of the Cubs, so
Yeah.
they're playing. So they had a tribute video for him, but the fans didn't. He was not well received. It's the fan reaction to the tribute video.
It's time for. Well, one day we'll look back and Craig Counsell will be cheered here at American Family Field, but this is not that day.
Ouch. Ouch. And Craig Counsell was a player there in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He's
from there.
He's from there,
Yeah.
like homegrown guy.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the
To
Cubs.
leave there like in the middle of the night, like what? He's leaving.
Yeah.
He's going to the Cubs.
I can't get over the irony of the fact that they're aggressively booing at a place called American Family Field. I can't get over how ironic that sounds.
And
Anyway, that's our
what
buddy
were they
Brian.
doing, though, giving him a tribute video?
Yeah,
Like they didn't read the room?
He is arguably, I mean, Whitey's more baseball knowledgeable than me, but he is arguably the greatest manager in that franchise's history.
Yeah, but still. Yeah.
They had to know the reaction, right? Like,
You'd think so. Real quick, I know I mentioned Brandon Ayuk.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we've been going around and around on this, and I got to give Jay credit because remember, Jay from the jump said, I don't think he's worth all the money he's going to be wanting. And we said, the salary cap is up, and he's having a great year. Well, we had this from Jeremy Fowler on NFL Live Friday. I was told the benchmark here is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He got $28 million a year and a 4-year from Detroit. The goal appears to be to try to beat that. He doesn't have to be the highest paid in the league, but he's done enough and he's accomplished enough in that offense to where Ayuk is probably going to need to be at that number or higher.
At what, 28 or higher?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's just like sort of Mike Brown. That's the cost of doing business right now. And I know, we had Jay talking about it. I wouldn't pay that guy. I wouldn't, do that. When I look at it, and we had this discussion, if you will, earlier, go down the list. Who is Ayuk better than? You know what I mean? Like, and who is he worse than at the wide receiver position? Like Stephon Diggs, he's at about 30 million.
Jefferson's
the one that's underpaid.
Yes.
Like that he's due for a massive, massive haul. Like, and I'm looking at total cash now with some of these guys. Keenan Allen, some of these Debo, like Ayuk should be more than Debo. AJ Brown just re-signed. Devontae Smith just re-signed. To me, Ayuk is a top 5, top 7 wide receiver
And especially
in the
in
NFL.
your system, and your quarterback relies on him a lot.
And it's all about when you come up too,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
all about
yeah.
the price when you come up. He's not better than Jefferson, but he's up now. So he, the market is different now. They should pay him.
Just kind of adds to that last dance feel for
Yeah.
this 49er
This is it,
core
huh?
this
Okay.
year.
Okay. Yeah, it's I think he's well deserved. And it's just like Mike Brown. If you lose him, who you going to replace him with? Who you going to get to replace him that does what he does? And the blocking aspect of it also.
Oh, your first round draft pick.
Who
Ricky,
you know exactly who
Ricky
what's his
Schroeder.
name?
That's not his
Exactly. At best, Danny Amendola at best, slot guy that's not going to do it. Come on, man. Exactly.
That's why they drafted him.
To replace IU, right?
Ricky, what's his name?
Yeah. When we come back, Boston versus Dallas, should it come to that? That is going to be juicy next to the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
The news on vapes talks a lot about the technology and teen use. But parents need to know more about the dangers of nicotine. So know this. 1. Nicotine is a poison that can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can increase mood swings. 3. It can limit attention and learning. So even when it comes in new tech, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season. And we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
We all have some things from the past that we might regret, or better yet, might like to get rid of. I'm talking about that mistake you made years ago that still may be haunting you. How great would it be if that could be expunged and gone? Poof! Just like that. But where do you go for something like that? Try the Gonzalez Law Offices. Jonathan Gonzalez is right here in downtown Sacramento, and he's here for you. Maybe you need someone for wrongful termination. Again, the Gonzalez Law Offices. Go to saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of free pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville. Are you ready for an exceptional automotive journey? We're excited to present to you the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. As May unfolds, come explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. Beyond being just a vehicle, it embodies a lifestyle. With its seamless blend of sophistication and practicality, the Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to extraordinary heights. Whether you're embarking on a family getaway or navigating busy city streets, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Moreover, with Kia's unwavering commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with absolute confidence wherever your adventures take you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Experience the exceptional Kia Telluride firsthand. Visit us today at Kia of Vacaville and take advantage of exclusive offers during the May Springtime Sales Event. Your adventure awaits. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Of course, we remember Bill Walton today. We were just talking about Bill Walton's role with the Kings broadcast team way back when. And thank you to Tony Bray Harvey he confirms what I was saying. He says, that is correct, Kevin. That was part of the plan for the Anaheim Royals broadcast team. Yeah. Bill Walton as the analyst and Jim Gray, sideline reporter. I don't know if they had determined who the play-by-play person was going to be. But, yeah, that was going to be the Anaheim Royals with Bill Walton as the analyst. Yeah.
No, I'm glad it didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
there was a report. I remember there was a game. Before the game, Joe Maloof was there, and the Maloofs weren't always there, so the media was like, oh, we got to find out what's going on. And somebody asked Joe, what about these reports that you've trademarked Royals and they're going to be the Anaheim Royals? And I believe he just said, I don't have anything to say about that. We were all like, oh, no.
Oh, that's all. There you go,
It's
right there.
done.
That's telltale sign right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
How come it fell apart? I don't know the history.
Well, there was a lot of – I think for one thing, people underestimate Sacramento when this city, there's a lot of smart people here and a lot of legal people here. When as a city, this city decides to get something done, they're able to get things done. That was part of it. And I think part of it, too, was Jerry Buss saying, I don't want a team in Anaheim.
Oh, Jerry Buss, yeah.
So
I want a team in my backyard.
Yeah.
In 2011, which was the year that people thought they were going to move and everyone was like, this could be the last game in Sacramento, the NBA convinced the Maloofs in part to wait a year, basically, not to make the move right away because they weren't going to approve relocation right away. And part of that was David Stern, too. But from what I understand is that in that year, Sacramento's ended up raising a whole bunch of money in order to show the Maloofs like, hey, we have this. And then the Anaheim thing just fell apart, basically.
Yeah. And then the next, it was Seattle. And then that's when the commissioner, Kevin Johnson, and Carmichael Dave, bless him, got involved. And that was, But that Anaheim thing, that was the last broadcast of the season. You had announcers on the air crying.
Really?
Yes. And we were, it was a very
tough.
somber scene.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, didn't happen. But Bill Walton was going to be nothing against him. It's just it was a job for him. He was going to be the color analyst for the Anaheim Royals.
In 2011, Anaheim city government approved $75 million in bonds to basically say, here you go. Here's $75 million in cash.
Yeah.
Please come to Anaheim.
Yeah, Sacramento fought it. And I don't think the people of Anaheim, it wasn't like there was a big, they didn't really care. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to get the NBA. They already had the NBA.
They had a team, yeah.
Yeah, two teams.
It didn't make sense.
And when Jerry Buss said, nope, I don't think so, then it crumbled.
That market would not make sense. Like, from a business standpoint, the Clippers are having trouble down there. Now you throw Anaheim in it? No, it's a Lakers area.
They were going to play at the Pond, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of like they were going to approve renovations and stuff. According to the Sam Amick story from 2011, is that there were questions about whether the Maloofs had run out of cash, because I believe in June of 2011 is when they sold their Vegas casino, essentially, to write off their debt.
Just part of the Bill Walton saga. And again, for anybody who maybe you don't care, but if you've never seen him, and you get a chance to look at his YouTube stuff, he was just an excellent center, fundamental, strong, so sound, a great rebounder and defensive player, and a great passer.
Yeah, he was. Run the floor, you talk about outlet pass that you're talking about. Just he was, when you look at it, sort of how Domas Jokic, you can run the offense through him.
Yeah.
He was that kind of center. And like I said, he beat the Sixers in 1977, then was a Celtic. And so I didn't like Bill Walton, until I met him, and he sort of just embraced me and really, I was able to let my guard down around him. He had that kind of effect on people.
We talk about a guy that kind of did it on his own. The team that he won a championship with, a great team. They had Maurice Lucas, really good player. Yes. Bobby Gross, Dave Twardzik, and Lionel Hollins.
Yeah.
And Bill Walton was the MVP, and they won a championship with that team.
Let's keep it real. The Sixers at the time with Dr. J, I think World Be Free was on. McGinnis. Yeah, McGinnis was on. Yeah.
Anyway, what about the finals this year? Let's say, or can we assume it's Boston, Dallas, or you're still not ready to give up?
No, we can assume. I mean,
it's going to be a great series, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how long it's going to go. I think Boston wins, but there's going to be a lot of juice.
Somebody asked me on social, who should I pull? Who would I be pulling for? The the Celtics or the Mavs? Think about this. You got Luka on one hand and the Celtics. I'd actually be pulling for the Mavs, I think.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think, yeah, it's just Celtics. I like Tatum. I like Brown, but they're the Celtics. I don't know. It's something about them, man. Everybody's like, Drapes, who's your allegiance to? No, I don't want the Celtics to win. Don't win a title when I'm not there.
I was going to say, you said that last week, and I don't know if you were kidding.
I'm a hater. No, I don't. Dude, I had my blood, sweat, and tears with that team for 11 seasons. Now that I leave, they want to go to the finals and win? I can't do it. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. I know that we were making fun of Chris Mannix. Not making fun, but just pointing out how ridiculous it was that after they lost no, it was before the Indiana series started.
Before they even started.
If they lose it, it's like a catastrophe.
Yeah, if they don't win the championship, he said, right?
Yes.
It wasn't even about just beating, championship. And I still believe that. If they lose to Dallas or even Minnesota, a complete failure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that was born and bred for a championship. They've been knocking on the door. They've been bridesmaids. They've been the best team in the NBA clearly from day one. If you don't get it done now, where do they go next? What moves can they make to make them even better? I don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be harder and harder with the CBA going into effect to hold a team like that together. Yeah. So they have to do it this year. Everything that they've done, all the moves for the most part have worked out. And then they came up short against the Warriors last year, gacked against Miami. Then this year they get Drew Holiday. If it isn't this year, it's one of those things where they'd have to say, we did everything right. We still didn't win. So now what do we do?
Now, what's your fallback? What's your plan B? You got the roster. You got the talent. Maybe you upgrade the bench or something like that. But no, you're right. What else can you do if you're the Boston Celtics?
And how about Dallas? Just getting there, they'd never admit this. I think getting to the finals would be a huge accomplishment and basically a success for Dallas.
Yeah, I think so. I think, what's interesting, though, they got some decisions to make roster-wise, too. And so, as we look ahead to next season and where the Kings fit in, Derrick Jones Jr., he might be a guy you can go out there and poach for mid-level situation.
Like that.
You get him, and then you hurt the Mavs. But this will be viewed as a successful season for them. Getting to the finals, huge success for them.
Mm-hmm. And I got to give him credit. I don't like giving him credit.
Give him
when they
credit.
Got Kyrie, I said, that's not going to work. There's no way that's going to work.
Kyrie has changed his spots. A leopard has changed. I don't understand. This guy flamed out in Boston, flamed out in Brooklyn, and now he's ready to get a shoe deal back with Nike and everything, a poster boy for the league, and he is a joy to watch, man. And so I hate it. I'm going to be pulling for them against the Celtics.
Are we approaching another Kings coaching crisis? And we haven't answered the question yet. Is there any way the Kings could hope to compete this year without making that major move? We'll roll on with that here on Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings. Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up Podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, Go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
You see the TV commercials, everybody wants this car, the all-electric Kia EV9. Well, my friends at Elk Grove Kia have it on the lot today, and you can be driving it for only $499 a month. That's right, the 2024 North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. The all-electric Kia EV9 can be yours right now at Elk Grove Kia for only $499 a month. The summer sales event is going on right now at Elk Grove Kia and the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Everything, I would love to be driving a brand new car this summer, or maybe even just a car that's new to me. Well, guess what? Your credit won't be an issue out here at Elk Grove Kia. Everyone's approved. And Elk Grove Kia is committed to providing excellent customer service and getting you behind the wheel of a vehicle you're going to love. They go above and beyond the average dealerships. You're not going to find this kind of experience in Roseville or Vacaville or Sacramento or Davis. Only at Elk Grove Kia. That's why they have so many 5-star reviews. Come visit the showroom, see for yourself. Elk Grove Kia is in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Or check out what they got on the lot right now anytime online at elkgrovekia.com. One at this price, $3,500 down, plus taxes and fees.
Vapes and cigarettes are responsible for the excessive amount of secondhand smoke in California.
From our sidewalks to our parks, restaurants, offices, and work sites, over half of Californians are at risk of being exposed to thousands of toxic chemicals.
Go to secondhanddangers.org for an action plan to protect yourself and your family from toxic harm that could last a lifetime.
Because even outdoors, there's no such thing as safe secondhand smoke.
Sponsored by Breathe California, Sacramento region.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha. Kelsey Hart and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. 7777.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Type it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
It's Tuesday, and Kyle Draper has brand new headphones. And we have this on the chat from Compio. The over-under on how many shows before Draper breaks his new headphones. Compio's putting it at 55?
55. What's this? What is it?
I'm taking the under.
That would put us in the middle of August.
Dude, you know what's funny? I'm sitting here and like the cord is getting stuck and I'm like, Kyle, don't rip the cord out like before and everything. No, these are high quality.
They are
headphones. I did not get the service plan, the insurance plan on it. I thought about it. It's a 2-year deal though. Like knowing my track record, I probably would break it. But
the only reason I'm taking the under is because you're not quite sure how you broke the last one. And I was here when it happened, and I don't know what happened.
But you know what it is, though, Whitey? Let me tell you, the headphones etiquette, if you will. My other ones, I just threw in my backpack. Like, I didn't have a case or anything. These come with a case.
Ooh.
So these will be well protected.
That's good.
So these will be, and I got the box still, big fella, like double protection, if you will.
And I got some bubble wrap.
And I got some bubble wrap, shrink wrap around. Did
you get any accessories with it?
Oh, like what?
I don't know, like any other, like a headphone jack?
No, I need to buy a jack. I need to get a jack. I only got the little one right now.
Oh, well, that works.
Yeah, but it's all flimsy over here. Like, I got to jiggle it. Like right now, I can't hear what you're saying, big fella. No, literally,
Seriously?
I can't hear what you're saying right now because I'm like, I got to shake it. Let me shake it. Try and talk now. All right, now I got you. You see, so you got to wiggle it a little bit.
I think I got one for you.
You got one?
I'll find
You want to give me one? Or do I got to return it? Or
if you've got a problem too, just plug it into the one to your left if you want to for the.
See if that works.
No, I don't have a jack. Oh, you mean over there? Let me see here.
Yeah.
Ooh, this fancy. It's all shiny. Is this platinum?
Yeah, sure. Does it fit in there?
Yeah.
We good? Can you hear?
Nah.
No?
Keep talking to me.
Hello,
1, 2, 3.
hello.
Yeah, but one side is louder than the other now. See, man, I'm going back to the old.
That's okay, because you couldn't afford that one. That was going to be a daily rental fee.
That platinum, right? All right, let me put it. All right, talk to me now.
Hello. How are you, Kyle? Kyle Draper has new headphones.
Yeah, now I hear you good. I was about to say, it's not headphones era or Kyle era. It's this, no offense, Bonneville, this cheap, we need to replace this right here. It's a little like you wiggle in and it's in and out, like a fader or something. You ever DJ and you do the fader up and down? That's how it is with me.
Well, I got that one if you need it. I might have a gold one.
Maybe I'll go over here, like Kyle said.
Yeah. Anyway, we Friday. Oh boy, that's a little short. That's a good way to break your headphones.
I thought in defense, I thought your cord was longer. I saw you,
dude. You're sabotaging me over here. You're sabotaging me.
I thought your cord was longer. Ooh,
wow. Ooh.
that is my bad. I saw you lean back and kind of like yank on it. I'm like, oh no, don't do that.
You ever got caught up in your cord or you forget your headphones are in or something?
Yeah, why is yours so long compared to mine?
I hear that a lot.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You know, this is a family program, big fella. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble.
Yeah. All I know is that we are apparently approaching another Kings coaching crisis. Are we, Kyle? We're not, right? We're not.
I was about to say, are we overselling this
It's
just
an illusion,
a little bit?
right?
I think so.
Talk me out of the
There's no
treehouse
way.
of madness.
There's no way we could have a coaching controversy, if you will, with Mike Brown, the unanimous coach of the year a season ago, a guy that led you to 48 and 46 wins, a guy that's returned you to respectability. I'm not believing it. I'm downplaying the reports. I'm downplaying the hype. Mike Brown would be A-okay. I can't see it happening any other way.
Do you think then that this is coming from Mike Brown's camp and it's just leveraging? It's just negotiating.
Yes, Whitey, it's all, part of the game. Negotiations, leak a couple things.
Watch this. They're going to be surprised the way people are reacting. People are not going to react well to this, Mike. You watch this, what happens? Is that kind of thing? Because it's actually, I hope it's not backfiring.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't piss any. That's the thing about negotiations. Things can become personal really quickly. And I just think, Vivek doesn't become a billionaire by being dumb. He's a smart man. Mm-hmm. He understands Mike Brown's value to this team. And we could compare him to Dave Yeager. We could compare him to Michael Malone. Those guys have not had the kind of success that Mike Brown has had. They did okay. But Mike Brown has put this thing back on the rails, back on the tracks, and got us into the playoffs, got us sniffing the playoffs. Why would you disrupt that? Vivek's a smart man. I'm not worried about it.
Isn't it possible that Vivek or someone in the front office who has Vivek's ear feels like, you know what? This is a good coach. Make no mistake. But he's not the reason why we had that great year. Yeah, he was there, but it was some of the things we did that actually got us there. So he's part of it, but guys like Kyle Draper on the radio, they're way overselling it. They're making it sound like he's the one that changed the culture, and he's the one that turned the team around. He was part of it, but he didn't do it by himself. Therefore, we don't need to accede to these outrageous demands.
Nah, I just can't see it. But you guys know the Kings, history better than I do. And that has probably happened in the past. I just feel like, and Mike Brown talked about it, from day one, it starts at the top. And to be, a championship organization, you got to have synergy from the top to the middle level, management, to the coaches, to the players, to the staff, everything. And I don't think they would do anything at this time to disrupt that. Dude, here's the thing. Let's say you don't even think Mike Brown is the coach. And I'm talking if you're Vivek or anybody else.
You mean you don't think he should be the guy?
The guy to
Which
lead.
we don't.
Financially, he has proven to be the guy. Like I said earlier, King's valuation has gone up immensely because of Mike Brown.
Mm-hmm.
King's merchandise, somebody pointed it out. You used to be able to buy tickets. Now there's a season ticket wait list, if you will. And so that's because of Mike Brown. And you're not going to give him all the credit. Got to give the players, got to give management, ownership, all that. But without Mike Brown, I don't know if this rebuild happens as quickly. And so even if you don't think he is the right guy, from a business standpoint, having Mike Brown is good for business.
It's a little different in basketball than it is in baseball. But when the Giants were having the issues they were having with Gabe Kapler, Grant Brisbee is one of my favorite baseball writers. He was talking about the manager, and I think some of this applies to the coach. And he says one of the most important aspects of that is you're the face of the team for your fans. It's a big part of that. And, Gabe Kapler he came across as kind of a
he
distance.
Bristled at that. He wasn't all warm and fuzzy.
People didn't relate to. Now, Mike Brown, obviously, a basketball coach, you got to be a lot more than that. And Mike Brown has proven he is. But also, I think my point is he's an excellent face of
ambassador
your
for
yes, of your players, of your franchise. And he also nationally, he's got standing. People respect the Kings because he's the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
That's worth something.
He's a face of the franchise. He's out there in front. And the thing about Mike, and I've seen him in action, seen him interact with fans, interact at corporate events and functions. He touches everybody when he's in the room. You think, oh, this is Mike Brown. He doesn't come off as standoffish. He's a man of the people. He's shaking hands. He's kissing babies. He's taking pictures. He's exactly what you want from a coach in terms of being a leader of your franchise, the face of your franchise. Now, I don't know if any of the past coaches that have been let go has that kind of same pull that Mike Brown has. Like, that's the thing. And I told this story 1,000 times. I was talking with an assistant coach who had worked with Mike Brown. And he says, the great thing about Mike Brown, whether you're player 1, player 15, security, concessions, whatever, he's going to touch you. He's going to feel you. He's going to disarm you, make you feel embraced and comfortable. And I told the story 1,000 times. Mike Brown, with my article in The Athletic, the next day in his post-game press conference, he went out of his way to bring up that article. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even at the press conference. I heard about it at home when I was about to lay down. I see a tweet and everything. Like, those are the little things. It's not just about X's and O's. It's being a leader of men, being a leader of an organization, being a leader of a franchise. And Mike Brown has done a hell of a job in that.
Mm-hmm. He's also a very bright guy himself.
Yeah.
About Vivek being bright. So smart people can learn from things they do that don't work out. Mm. So I'm sure Mike Brown would admit, not publicly, because when you're negotiating, you don't do that. But if you looked at some things this year that didn't work out, I'm sure he could explain either, yes, this is why it didn't work, or, there's other things we can do that we will try.
Right.
He's smart enough to make adjustments. That's one thing people do. Oh, this coach did this or that or that. Give me a smart person because, they're going to make mistakes, but they're going to learn from them. And I think he's already done that.
Yeah, and the thing about it too, Whitey, is You show me the coach that's 100% perfect. Every decision they make is right. Every substitution's right. Every draft, like, coaches make mistakes all the freaking time. It's the nature of the job, like you said. But do you learn from them? Do you not make the same mistakes over and over? And, we had Matt Barnes on, and he talked about, the lack of playing time for certain guys. That's because Mike didn't trust the guys. So now it's on Monty to go out there and upgrade the roster and get guys that Mike can trust, and you'll see a more uniform rotation.
How about this notion of the Kings? Can they be competitive without making a major move?
Okay.
What do you think?
Can they
without making a big time splash?
What's competitive?
This year?
You give me something. Top 6 playing. What do you think? What's competitive?
Can they be better than they were last year? Can they be, in the West, if you're anywhere near the top 6, there's a good chance you got a shot at the top 4.
Right.
Yeah. Without making a major move. So that would be you get somebody with your mid-level, maybe with the biannual. You draft somebody, maybe make a trade, but I'm talking about without bringing in somebody with star qualities, a star, someone who everyone would agree, wow, they brought in a star player.
So not just a rotation guy,
right?
Not just a 7th man, 8th man.
And again, this goes back to one of the things that Jay suggested weeks ago, which I had never thought of. It's like, hey, what if you do that and then you wait till the deadline to see where you are?
When teams get desperate. I don't think they can. I think
I agree with you.
Do you really? Okay.
Yes. And it scares me because I can see that. Oh well, we want to keep our flexibility, and we like this, we like that. But I agree with you.
All right, and here's why I say that, Whitey. Fox is great. Sabonis, all the I like all the guys. They'll be fine. But in the Western Conference, when you got teams breathing down your back. When you got Houston coming, when you got San Antonio about to make major moves, when you still got Minnesota's, Denver's, no, I think, when I look at the Western Conference standings, and I pulled this up right here, you tell me a team that's going to fall behind the Sacramento Kings if the Kings do nothing. OKC? Nope, they're not. No, Denver? Nope. No. Minnesota? Nope. Clippers?
Maybe.
Now, that's, mind you, the Kings don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, because we don't know what's going to happen with Paul George.
Which might be addition by subtraction.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just said maybe.
I don't know. Dallas.
No.
Phoenix. New coach, Mike Budenholzer. Another year in the system.
And they're going to have Bronny and LeBron.
LeBron.
I mean, they might, but.
All right, they might.
Yeah.
Pelicans.
With Ingram, it's possible, but yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. I would guess not.
People laugh at the Lakers, but they finished ahead of us in the standings. Lakers were the laughing stock. We beat them like a drum, but yet they still finished ahead of us. So do we really think they're going to fall back behind us?
Probably not. Could happen, but probably not.
That's what I'm saying. So we're at 6 or 7 teams already, and that's not including the surging Houston Rockets. How about the Memphis Grizzlies?
Grizzlies terrify me.
Right. They're going to have
real Grizzlies, but I mean the team.
Top pick.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be, yes. And so you can't afford to stand pat. If this season was disappointing, you can't have another season like that. You got to be going for it. I need to see some progression.
All right.
So, no, we can't stand pat.
You scoffed at my trade idea last week.
Not necessarily, Whitey.
Okay.
Not just tell the full story. Tell the full story.
You said you're crazy, or that's
because you're talking about the second overall pick.
But I also said, and I think I have it in my notes if I had to prove it, Your Honor. I said, you could maybe do this with different teams, different situations. My idea was swap picks, get a higher pick, and in addition, when you do that with a team, you get a good player coming back.
Okay.
So would you be? And you brought this up earlier before the show started. Would you be interested in something like that potentially with Utah if you got John Collins? And is John Collins that star? Is he a guy that if you get him, like, okay, you've got that star?
I think John Collins moves the needle enough for this team. I think a lob threat, a guy that can, knock down some shots, plays with a higher motor. Yes, Utah, that kind of trade would fit.
He could play with Domas, huh?
Yes.
He's a big who could play with Domas.
Yes, 100%. And, I pulled up his shooting numbers. I think he shot 36% last year from 3, if I'm correct. And
That's
so
above average.
That's
That
above
helps you.
average.
That
I'll take
helps you.
that, you know, and he's a little longer, at that position. And so, yes, that's something I would do. Now, our boy Evan Sidery, who was on our show last week, he tweeted out, the 3 teams that are potentially open for business when it comes to the trade of their top picks. Utah was one of them as well.
And they're 10?
And they're 10. Yes, they are 10. And then let me pull it up right here. Utah was one at 10. You also had the Rockets at 3.
Ooh.
And the Grizzlies at 9. But here's what he said, friend of show. 3 teams selecting in the top 10 have indicated they're open for business on potentially trading their pick. Then regarding the Rockets will shop their pick ahead of the draft in hopes of landing a star-level player. So cross the Rockets out, right? Yeah. All right. So we're talking 9 or 10. If a Dalton Connect or, a Tristan or whoever, that would you be open to moving up?
Yeah,
in this
I would like that if I could get, say, 10 and John Collins
for 13.
Yeah, then I could potentially get 2 starters out of that. Certainly 1. Certainly 2 rotation pieces.
Yeah, think about that.
And that's what I need.
Yeah, you need a couple pieces.
Infusion of talent, or I've got no chance this year.
So I went to the trade machine. If they were to take on Collins, who has 2 years and $26.5 million, there would have to be $19 million outgoing for the Kings in the deal.
Do we have anybody at that?
So Harrison's at 18.
Mm-hmm.
So then you would just need to tag on another player who's under contract still. And I think your options are obviously a Colby Jones or a Slauson or Duarte, Davion, someone who's still under contract for another year.
There you go.
Yeah, that works. It definitely works.
Does that move the needle enough for you?
Preseason wise, yes.
Right.
I mean, you still have to do more.
Right. And would you give up any of your other first round draft picks? Meaning, all right, we know about this year, 13th pick, but are you giving up future picks in this deal too, or probably not?
Not for John Collins.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because I think they want to move off. They might want to move off his salary too. So I don't think I would need to.
Right.
If I had to, maybe 1, and I don't want to, but I
don't want to. Yeah. Because what I'm hoping is that, let's say you make a move with Utah, you still have flexibility to do other moves if necessary. Like, I don't think the John Collins thing and the number 10 pick is enough to put me.
I agree.
I want other moves as well, right?
Yes.
That's just one of many that I'd like to see this team make.
You do that. You bring in a mid-level. You might be, if you do it wisely and you get lucky, you might be in position to make some noise again. As long as your coach is still Mike Brown.
Dog, I told you, Whitey, don't worry about that. Somebody on the text line, what if the holdup for Brown is they don't know if they're bringing Monk back yet, and he doesn't want Brown as his coach?
Glad they mentioned that, but I don't think that's a thing.
I don't think that's the case. Yeah, I don't think so. Because here's the thing with Malik Monk, and we've seen him and Brown butt heads publicly, but I've seen him behind the scenes as well. I've seen them go back and forth. They have a weird relationship where they can needle each other, make fun of each other, poke fun at each other, but there's all love there. And if I'm Malik Monk, and I know you're supremely confident in your ability, sort of like Kyle Ledbetter. You just think
not that confident.
Right, maybe not that confident. But your best years as an NBA player were under Mike Brown. Why would you want to turn your back on that? Why would you not want to play for a coach that you've had your best years under? And there's no real issue. There's no real beef. There's no real drama. And so I'm not buying, what the 209 is saying.
Yeah, we've all, as fans and as some of us is lucky enough to be in the media, we've all observed situations where you got a coach and a player or a manager and a player and they don't get along, right?
Yeah.
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
And we know what it looks like. We know what it sounds like. And I'm telling you, this isn't it.
This isn't it. No.
It's just not.
It's two hard-nosed competitors who sometimes butt heads, but you can feel the love. Like, I could argue. I could argue. When you look at the relationship between Mike and any of his players, the bond is probably strongest with Malik Monk. You could just see it. You could feel it. You could feel their relationship. And sure, sometimes it blows up, where Malik gives him a stare or they have some words. But I feel like Mike loves him like a son, man. And I think those two, especially when you look at Malik's career, they need each other, man. Like Malik's best ball came under Mike Brown.
Yeah, so I'm with you. And I know we touched on this earlier, but I don't think whatever happens with Mike Brown has anything to do with Malik. I don't think Malik's waiting to see. I'll sign there if they get rid of that guy. Nope, not buying that at all.
Zero chance. I'm with you on that. I'm not buying that at all either. And I think, when it comes down to Malik, it's about getting paid. The dude is looking to get paid.
What do you think of this? Mark Stein, I'm sure you've read this. We talked about
Mark Stein.
It appears the combination of Brown's desire for a significant salary bump and the Kings' postseason disappointments have given his bosses pause. Is there anything really significant in the postseason disappointments that you think, if you were on the team, that you'd go, they missed the playoffs this year? Yes, Malik got hurt. Your front office didn't do anything. The year before, your best player broke his finger. So I understand people are disappointed they didn't, A, get to playoffs this year, B, get further last year. But how do you blame that on the coach?
Exactly. And when you look at it, maybe it's the inability to beat the Pelicans. Maybe it's
That's fair. That's totally
we didn't
fair.
make the adjustments necessarily, whatever they may feel. I don't know. And I don't even know what the adjustments are. Maybe the postseason disappointments are just the one game. Because think about this too. We are disappointed. Yes. But 2 days before the loss to the Pelicans, we had a great win over the Golden State. Or have we forgot about that too? It seems like everybody just focuses on the negative and not some of the great things that happened this year.
When we come back, did you know the Sacramento A's already have sold some seat deposits?
Really?
Yeah.
I
the
didn't know
Commissioner of Baseball addressed that. We'll tell you how many they've sold, according to Rob Manfred, when we come back. Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, summer is our season. And we're kicking it off with a free 12-ounce Island Punch smoothie for National Flip Flop Day. Grab your flip-flops and head to your local cafe on May 29th from 2 to 7 p.m. Terms and conditions apply.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind, It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie.
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity.
We're going to the city?
Authenticity.
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic. Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, it wasn't exactly a headline when the A's acquired infielder Abraham Toro from the Brewers in the offseason. After all, Toro had just 18 at-bats in the big leagues a year ago. But as we near the end of May, his emergence has become a good story. Entering the week, Toro is number 8 in the American League in batting and also in the top 20 in hits and on-base percentage.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Got a question here on the chat. Somebody wants to know, what's our Manny Tulachip? Whitey Drapes, favorite all-time player? I know we talked about this, but...
Do we have the same one or no?
Mine, no, I don't think so.
All right, you want me to go first?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Irvin Magic Johnson. Favorite player of all time. Any sport, any level, Magic's my guy.
I would have to go back a little further. Really? Julius Irving.
The doctor? Okay. All right. Much respect for that.
Yeah, and I don't say he was the best. I wouldn't say, oh, no, he's way better than these guys. But
your favorite.
Yeah, in the ABA, especially the ABA, Julius Irving.
ABA.
Flying through the air.
Hair, afro, one hand, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. J.
Incredible.
In my opinion, the most underrated basketball star of all time.
Really?
Yeah, because, people are like, oh, well, look at his numbers. Look at the ABA. You got to include the ABA also.
Yes.
His impact, he was Jordan before Jordan. Mm-hmm. The way people flock to him. There's the video and pictures of him at Rucker Park where people's on the roofs and on the fences trying to get a glimpse of him. He was a rock star back then, man.
Yeah. Kyle and I were talking about this. Kyle Ledbetter and I were talking about this before the show because we were talking about Bill Walton. There's kind of that period, that pre-Magic Bird period where basketball, it was, pro basketball wasn't doing very well.
Yeah.
But the people that got it through that period were, of course, Kareem, Bill Walton, who we talked about today, and Julius Irving.
And Dr. J.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. And can we throw my guy Dave Cowens in there too? To an extent. That's my boy Dave Cowens.
If we have to.
Yeah, I know he's a Celtic in there, but he's my guy. Dave Cowens, big fan of his. But no, there's that, like almost a forgotten decade of the NBA.
Yeah.
Because you think about the
Wilton
60s,
Russell,
and then, you know, that 70s is kind of quiet, and then the 80s, you know, Bird and Magic took over. Yeah.
That's when
exactly.
the modern NBA started. Yeah.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
No, I was just going to say, we were talking about it because the Bill Walton documentary that he did a couple years ago for ESPN talks about how, like, from post-merger 76 until Magic and Bird, there's this like lost storytelling element of NBA history. Like it's just kind of a forgotten period. And it was a 4-part doc, but one episode they dedicated just to the 77 finals. And it was really insightful for me, like someone who knows basketball history, but just really insightful. I had no idea any of this was going on.
It was a great series. Yeah. The first one after the ABA and NBA merged.
Yeah.
Walton.
And I'm looking at
Kareem was a great player, but he was just kind of reticent and didn't have that larger than life
right,
personality.
Right. Yeah. And I'm looking at the champions from that decade, the 70s.
Dave Counts, 1-2. I know.
No, you got the Knicks. You know, give the Knicks some love. Kareem and the Bucks, Lou Alcindor and the Bucks.
Great Lakers team.
Got the great Lakers team in 72. Then the Knicks again. 73, Celtics 74, Warriors.
Rick Barry.
Yep, Rick Barry 75, 76, Celtics again. You got Blazers, Bullets, Sonics.
I think that's the last time.
That's the 6 in a row, right?
Yeah, like we have now, where we'll have a different champion for 6 years in a row.
78 I remember reading. I wasn't around for it, but in 78 they went to a Game 7 in the finals, and then there was a rematch the next year between the same two teams. It was Washington and Seattle the following year.
And nobody cared. I mean, people in Seattle cared. I know, but it was like the nation was like, "Oh, this is terrible," and that's when they started having games on tape.
It was Wes Unseld, I believe, went into Seattle and won the 78 championship, which is interesting because then they rematched the next year, and like Whitey said, no one cared.
Nobody cared.
Supposed death of the NBA.
Yeah. How much do people care already about the A's coming to Sacramento? Rob Manfred talked about a number of things on Thursday, and one of the things he talked about was what's going on here with Sacramento's plans to improve the ballpark. He said they are actually constructing a separate building adjacent to the stadium that will be the home clubhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, they're renovating the visiting clubhouse. There's going to be new artificial turf installed, which I would think if they're going to play there every day, both teams, they'd have to have artificial turf. They're upgrading the camera capabilities so they get major league quality broadcast out of Sacramento. There's some revenue-associated renovations, some club seating and video boards that are being done in the stadium. Again, this is all the commissioner Thursday. Right. So there's a lot going on there to get it up to snuff for the interim period. They've had great receptivity. I think they have seat deposits from like 13,000 people or something. They're doing okay, end quote.
How much does it hold?
14 right now.
He's had 13,000 already?
That's what he says. Yeah. I think they have seat deposits from like 13. He literally said from 13,000 people or something.
No way. That can't be true.
Is that just
right?
total tickets?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, total tickets.
Oh, not like season tickets.
It's kind of vague.
Seat
He's
deposits
implying,
to me. Yeah.
You don't put down a deposit for a single
game. Yeah. Wow. I don't even know where you could buy that at yet, though. Is that even?
I think it's on. I remember seeing it's not even on the A's website. You have to go to like sutterhealthpark.com/A's.
Oh, I see that. I'm on there right now.
You're right, Kyle. If this is true, next year's already sold
out.
Yeah, that simply cannot be true. I saw the Golden State Valkyries announced that they had 12,000 ticket deposits, and they were making a huge thing out of it. The A's, with all the bad publicity they would have, would definitely be advertising that they had 13,000 ticket deposits.
Calpio has a great point. Artificial turf in Sacramento in the summer, the field is going to be on fire. There's different types of artificial turf, and I don't know how hot they all get, but that's a great point.
All right,
but I don't know how you do it if you're going to have the River Cats playing their two without artificial
A's. That's a lot of wear and tear. So I'm on the site right now.
All right.
And
this is the ballpark?
Yeah. Kyle's right. SutterHealthPark.com/athletics. As announced here, the Sutter Health Park excited to welcome the A's, blah, blah, blah. A's season ticket members will enjoy first priority to seats at Sutter Health Park. All other fans can secure priority access to purchase seats for A's games at Sutter Health Park by joining the A's list and placing a $100 per seat deposit on a season ticket membership. So it's to join the A list. Not necessarily you're going to get the season tickets, or you have. It's to join the list to purchase a season ticket. Yeah.
Question, sir. And you may have read it there. I didn't hear. Did it say it's refundable, the deposit? Does it not say?
Let me.
We got to go through legal definition here. Legal, the fine print.
I do not see that. Let me see. I got to click on the. It does not say it on the site, the page that I was on. I just clicked the extra page, go on to the next one. Fees will be calculated. No, they don't.
Okay. It's not clarified.
It's not clarified. Yeah.
All right.
So you said it was $100 per seat.
Yeah.
Right? So
if I want, if we're going to get two, Sheeny and I want to go, we're going to get season tickets for two. Then I just have to send $200.
$200.
And I'm on the commissioner's list.
On the list.
13,000 people or something.
Like 13,000.
But here's the thing though. This is to join the A's list, but it says A's season ticket members will enjoy first priority. So you would hope the 100 is refundable, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And then they will have the money for a while they collect interest on it, right?
Right. Oh, I'm sure.
I'll give you $100 back. Yeah, but thank you.
But I guess that makes sense what you're saying, Draper, is that if you have been an A's season ticket holder when they were at the Coliseum, you get first dibs.
Yes.
I guess that makes sense. But if there's 13,000 people who aren't already season ticket holders, how does that math add up?
Right.
Manfred said he believed again, this is all just last Thursday that he said this. He believed the A's would need to break ground next April in Las Vegas for the team to be able to have a stadium ready for 2028. He says they still think they're on schedule to be able to play in 28. Everything is just so, I don't know, sort of, they guess, they think. In terms of selling pieces of the club, I don't think that John has a necessity of effectuating any of that in order to meet this timeline. He's a lawyer.
So you're saying there's a chance, Whitey, for Sacramento?
I don't know what there's a chance of. I saw somebody who has covered the A's in the past on Twitter just spitballing over the weekend saying, none of this makes sense. I'm wondering if the end game is contraction. Now, that's just pure speculation. That doesn't make sense either. And that's
why would that be the end game?
It doesn't make sense.
That does not
But
make
it does
sense.
underscore the point that there's a lot of people that don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I had no idea you could get on the list for $100.
I didn't either.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. We could probably find how many people there are. It's probably like 37 people. I wonder how many people.
Dude, they haven't publicized this though really that well, but I do know there are people excited about this.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of people.
And for $100,
I just hope it's not all sold out already.
Right. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
But it's probably true that they don't even know for sure how many seats they're going to have next year. They're going to be able to add some. And a lot of this is just a very fluid situation.
Yeah. You're right about that.
They'll be here 4 years, not 3, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, right?
Wow,
4 years. And what's that, common law marriage almost? Like, what's you might as well just stay here then, right?
Common law baseball marriage. When we come back, Memorial Day box office, movie box office. One of the worst we've had in a long time. What's going on? Why aren't people going to the movies? Next on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
The Summer Starts Here sales event is on now through Memorial Day at your Toyota dealer. Take advantage of great deals on Toyota's entire lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, drive into the season of fun in a new Toyota and get low 3.99% APR financing on Highlander. Or check out great lease deals on Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. Hurry, Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available on 2024 models through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes hybrids. N6324.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's get to the phones here before we get to what's going on at the movie box office, which ain't much. TC joins us. TC, welcome. We do not have your music today. Jay's not here today. When Jay leaves, he always takes your music with him. So we want to hear what you have to say, but just so you know, we can't play your bed today. Our apologies. How are you today?
Man, it's all good, man. It's all love. Drapes and Whitey, what's up, man?
What's up, TC?
You know, like that. Just vibing, tapping it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, what do you think of this Mike Brown? Are you in? You want to pay him or you want to wait and see here? Yeah.
Hey, listen, I told y'all from the jump, whether it's 10 or 13, pay that man, man. That man turned this organization around. I told y'all about Brown.
Yeah.
Vivek, pay Brown and stop playing, bro, and then let's move on. You know what I mean? Because it's bigger than Malik Monk. Ain't no Malik Monk without Mike Brown. You get me? So Mike Brown is like the head of it. It's not the other way around. Like, let's sign Malik and then everything else. No, let's sign Mike Brown and then everything else comes around. Malik Monk, all the other free agents. I like what y'all said with the. I'm with that Utah Jazz. John Collins in 10 for like a Harrison Barnes, Doherty in 13. That's a steal, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's a hey Drapes. I kind of like that. If Utah is talking like that, Monty, that's a move that you got to make. Like, there's no. I told you, Monty is out of his chess moves. Like he's out of moves. other than make a move. You can't keep penny pinching. Oh, we want to do the flex. What do you say? We like the flexibility and the camaraderie. Listen, bro, them is all words, Monty. You was cool the first couple of years with what you were saying, bro. It's time to make moves now. Let's sign Mike and also help Mike out and make moves. Not these backdoor moves like, oh, let's get a guy for a 6th-round pick. We got upside. He's 24. Like, no, bro. Draft guys. Get guys in here that can help right now and bust a move. There's no more penny pinching, bro. We have to make a move. And as far as Brown, sign him to his contract, bro, whether it's $10 million or his money was, because he deserves that. He's a champion. Not only did he turn his organization around, bro, he has us with a living heartbeat right now. Listen, Kings fans, organization, media, y'all better be careful what y'all wish for, bro. He's been the best thing since Rick Alleman. That's all I got. Check it.
Oh, is TC still there? You there, TC?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, we got a couple texts coming for you, though. Somebody from the 916s, fade TC, buy TC. This is why TC is not a general manager. So somebody out there hating, man.
What? For what?
Ain't nobody hating, man. Listen, it's all love. I kind of think I know who that is. But listen, look, check it out. I gotta look at the text thread. It's all love, but hey, at the end of the day, Drake, Whitey, all Kings fans gonna understand what I'm saying. And I guarantee when I hang up this call, everybody gonna feel every word I said, bro, and kick back. I promise you. Everything I said was true. It ain't got nothing to do with feelings, purple lenses, or nothing, bro. It's facts. That's all I got.
All right, guy TC, check
TC.
it, baby. Good stuff, TC.
I thought the moves that TC proposed today are very solid.
They were very solid. I don't know why people hating on them.
It doesn't look like people. It looks like one person.
No one is listening to TC.
Repeatedly. Yeah, it's the same
seriously. Number. Same number texted in. It might be his boy or something. But no, I'm with the John Collins in the 10 pick. Like, bring that. That's a move.
Now, I'd have to sweeten that deal up, wouldn't
I?
Yeah,
otherwise, why would they do it?
Yeah. Well, you want me to help you move?
Maybe a future first, protected, lottery protected. Lottery protected?
Yeah.
You know,
I would. I'm just,
okay.
The age we're talking about.
Right.
Not like you're going to catch him unawares or anything.
But basically, then you're giving him. He's giving you John Collins and his first for 2 of our first, the 13 and the future one, and a player or 2.
Yeah, there we may have some.
Yeah, exactly. Should we get Danny on the call? Like, propose it to him.
We're
like,
playing it like, cool, we want him to call us.
I
don't know, maybe.
Right.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Usually when he calls, though, we don't like to answer. Like, teams don't like to answer. If Danny's calling, watch out.
Hey, do you remember when he was an analyst on TNT?
Dude, man, that's going way back.
Yeah.
Remember when he was a coach of Phoenix Suns? Robert Ory, was it?
Threw the towel
in his face? Oh, yeah, you're going way back now.
Mitch joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Mitch. How are you?
How you guys doing?
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
I'm retired now, so I do whatever I want.
Okay. Nice.
Just 2 bosses. I have 2 bosses to listen to, and my grandson.
Yeah.
And TC for you could be an intern with the Kings. Make sure they make the right moves there, please. I was like the kid Ingram. I believe Valanciunas, is that his name?
Valanciunas.
He's a free agent. But we got to sign Monk. Does he want the money or does he want to start? You got to keep Brown. And when you mentioned about the Sacramento, I hope they can change the athletics, keep Sacramento and maybe the colors of the uniforms.
Yeah.
You got to, not the city, but that owner's been terrible.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me talk.
All right,
Mitch.
Mitch.
Thank you.
I think I heard Luka saying something. I could read his lips after the last game. Actually, it was game. Remember the shot he made over Gobert?
Yeah. Game 2.
And he said, "Go home, Mitch." That's
is that what he? I was trying to decipher that.
Yeah. And I think he was looking right at Rudy. Go home, Mitch.
That's exactly what he said. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Mitch at the game?
I'm glad you were able to decipher that. Decode that.
But you saw that too, right?
Yeah, I thought he said something else, but now that you bring it up, I'm like, you're right, Whitey.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, Mitch. Yeah. The Memorial Day movie box office was, I think, the worst since 1995. That Furiosa, a Mad Max experience, and tanked. Garfield tanked. Yeah, and those were the two.
My
two
daughter
top
went to
movies.
see that this weekend.
Well, they were the number one movies, so they just didn't.
How much
perform
did
very
they
well.
gross?
I think they're both like around 31 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Mad Max was supposed to do
on a holiday weekend.
Yeah. That movie cost a lot of money to make. How come people aren't going to the movies as much as they used to? Now, there was no really huge like Marvel blockbuster, but it just seems, I know myself since the pandemic, and I love the movies, we just don't go that much.
Don't go as much. Stuff comes out on, streaming that you
watch
can
it at
get
home whenever I want.
Right, exactly. It's and I've brought this up. I haven't went to the movies to see an adult movie in 10, 15 years. Like I'm just not a movie.
You don't feel like you've missed anything, right? It's like, oh.
But I do enjoy it when I'm there. I just never, there's always other things to do. I can watch any movie I want on my TV now, So it's but the kids still like the movie. Compio says money. I don't think it's that expensive, is it?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it is, if it's a matter of watching it at home or going to the movie and watching, it's part of it, plus the snacks and everything.
I don't know, but
maybe we got out of the movie habit during the pandemic.
You ever rent a movie at home and it's like $20? And I'm like, $20 to rent a movie at home?
That's when you charge the people that watch it with you.
Yeah, I know, but then we could go to the movies and spend $40, no problem. But at home, $20. Like I'm the $5.99 rental, $3.99. I'm that kind of guy. $19.90, $21. I can't do it.
Don't sleep on those free rentals.
Really?
There's some gems.
Some
in there,
gems on the free ones.
Catch up on. Oh, that's a good movie. I haven't seen. Came out in 1972 or whatever. But I
black and white subtitles down low. It's a silent movie and everything.
Whitey would love Tubi then. Tubi's got a lot of those free movies
really
that are 50% or lower on Rotten Tomatoes.
I am familiar with Tubi. They have some fine documentaries.
Are you really? Oh my gosh, man.
Maybe we should have a movie night. Drive Guys movie night.
Yeah. Would you Gone with the Wind or something like that, or what I mean?
I was thinking something more current, but your point is well taken.
Black and white movies.
E.T.,
Yeah. E.T. called home. All right, we're back with you tomorrow. Thanks for being with us. We're going to be talking about the NBA Finals matchup tomorrow. Right?
Yeah, we're going to break it down starting tomorrow. 9 days of breaking that down.
All right, stick around. Infinity Sports Radio is next. Thank you, Kyle Ledbetter. Jay, back tomorrow. Sactown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free